on the next World Class B. Now that Jeff has finally finished watching Dragon Ball Z, everyone wants to know, will he continue this intro or move on to something based on whatever he's watching next? Our resident smooth operator, Chocolate Thunder, sent by the Acolyte, is here to vent. The Bombay bad boy is back from CERN and has seen the future. It's all ball bearings. And what about Kendo? Will his trivia streak continue, and what are his thoughts on ball bearing? All that and more will be answered on tonight's episode of World Class B. Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're coming at you hot like the NBA Finals. We're coming at you long like a line of you-know-what from Conor McGregor. And we're going to be here all night long.
Well, thank you, Shawn Michaels. We definitely will not be sleeping at all on tonight's show. Also, say hello to the Bombay bad boy himself, Big Rig Nick Utown.
Glad to be here on this Thursday night with all of you.
We're very glad to have you on this Thursday night. And folks, welcome to the show.
I'm super excited for this.
I am too. I am from France, and I'm so excited for this show. In mass quantities. Now, folks,
God damn it.
Folks, we have a lot of fun lined up for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the Acolyte, obviously. We're going to be talking about this new Eminem song. We're going to be playing the Coach Quiz Kendo game and a whole lot more. But before we before we start that, a couple of things to say. Yes, folks, I'm aware that my camera is not synced up. I don't know what the problem is. Everything's up to date, and this camera's never fallen or anything like that. So it's weird that the app has kind of shit the bed too. So maybe it's time to upgrade already. It's been like 2 months, but whatever. I will fix that for you guys. But yes, I'm aware of the problem and we're fixing it quickly. Also, too, folks, a couple of things to announce before we get into the show proper. Kendo is on his way. Kendo has a real-life responsibility to take care of. He'll be here in about 40-ish minutes, so we're going to cover the Acolyte because he hasn't seen it, and then we'll talk about some other stuff, including quizzing Coach Kendo. So, folks, today is D-Day. We're going to be celebrating all sorts of fun stuff to talk about, and we'll bring up that when Coach Kendo gets here as well. He is WCBS's resident historian, so when we go to Japan next year, Kendo will be producing some historical content for you history buffs out there in WCBS land. Now, without any further ado, yes, Dion, I guess it is.
Oh. Cesaro Japan, that crazy son of a bitch. It was just like time skip Jeff is the new meta. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I wasn't paying attention. And it's just off. I was like, wait. I had to focus on it's like, he's in the past.
Yeah,
all right.
It's funny because I just Googled StreamYard webcam delay, and it's apparent. I've looked at 5 articles already, and it looks like it's just an internet issue is what it's saying. It literally is what it's saying.
The problem is when I go to use this camera to record stuff, it still lags. Like when I do the in-app software and everything, it's this camera itself. Because here's the thing. I can switch cameras.
Okay, you might have to switch to OBS.
Well, here's the thing. You don't want me to switch cameras, though, because I go from this to that. Yeah.
But that one works, though. See, that one works.
Well,
It's brought up in the lineup, Jeff, right there.
We're gonna stick with the HD camera. I'm sorry,
no
folks.
no problem. But yeah, we may. I may have to walk you through acquiring and getting OBS to work, so that this way everything will kind of sync up, and we'll have full synchronization then.
I could just go like this. Would that be easier?
No, let's not do that.
I'm not.
Yeah, no. We like to see your face, man.
Oh, I like to see yours too.
One camera, you're in the usual suspects or something.
Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
Kaiser Cesario Japan. There we go. That's his new name.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was a new video camera angle.
Oh. I must have downloaded the wrong movie. That sounds like the one I got off Pornhub.
Axel
Dang it, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Usual
Wrong movie.
Suspects.
Wrong movie.
A backdoor parody.
The backdoor parody.
Yeah, we're just future-proofing ourselves here on the channel. So, folks, let's talk about some stuff that we got lined up for tonight's show. Before we start tonight's show, a couple of things. What's going on? Well, first off, we already talked about what we're going to talk about. So let's get into some housekeeping. We have great news, folks. The new email is live. Right now, send us an email to info@worldclassbullshitters.com. Yes, we put on the big boy pants. We're worldclassbullshitters.com now. Website is in process. I don't really know what we'll put on the website yet, but it'll be our videos, our content. We'll link it to the store. Everything we do will be a hub of World Class Bullshitters activity on the website. So if you want to go there and find out more, you can eventually. But right now, you can play along at home with us because we are bringing up a question of the day. Our friend Shrebels08 always gives us the word of the day. Here's the question of the day, and just basically treat it like Cards Against Humanity. Give us your funniest response to this question on the card. What makes you feel old? Folks, the question of the week is, what makes you feel old? The best answers that are sent to info@worldclassbullshitters.com will be read on air tonight by me. And by the way, folks, this email goes directly to me. So no more having to check in, no more having to do anything, folks. Worldclassbullshitters.com goes directly. Well, it'll go to all of us eventually, but it goes directly to me. So if you ever have like a link, like a Jack White or anything you want us to see, info@worldclassbullshitters.com is the way to connect to us. Now, Nick, Dion, we're 95 years old. What makes you feel old?
Geez, man, watching stuff like the NFL draft, and they're all 19, 20, 21. That's what makes me feel old.
Yeah, I'm not even into sports, and sometimes I go, "Oh man, they're 24," and like, did I miss the boat? And I go, "No, I didn't," but whatever. Nick, what makes you feel old?
The fact that if Back to the Future was made today, Marty would go back to 1994 instead of 1955.
Jesus,
damn.
Just to get, somebody said that, and somebody told me. I was like, oh god, you're right.
Fuck you, and fuck who told you that too. That one hit a little close to home.
Oh, Marty.
Dion's started having a muscle spasm in his back because of that fucking question.
Yeah, dude, my hip hurts.
Yeah, it's like my knee went bad all of a sudden. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, anybody else's knee hurt?
Yeah, I'm too old for this shit. You know it. Now, what would Marty do in 1994? Because the cell phone exists, but it's not a smartphone.
Yeah,
the internet's there, but it's dial-up. There are TVs, but they're not widescreen, flat screen TVs. The movies, the thing is, Marty would recognize so much of life because he's like, oh, Jurassic Park. I've seen that old movie. Or like Marty McFly just gets whipped back in time.
What do you mean it's just brand? What do you mean it's brand new?
Yeah. Oh, it's on streaming. What's streaming? Find out in 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like water? No. It'll be on our TVs and our. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you mean like liquid crystal display? What?
God, yes.
You mean like Pepsi Crystal?
Yeah, that's. Oh, this is the drink LA Beast brought back. Who's LA Beast? What? It's a brand new soda. You want a Pepsi Clear, pal?
Let's see. Okay. All right. So if we went back in 94 and mentioned streaming, let's see, 94, 2004, 2007. So like 13 years later, streaming would happen.
It's too early for you, but your kids are gonna love it. Is that gonna be the line he says?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wait, what's
the only thing that's gonna happen?
He's gonna tell somebody about mumble rap. He's like, "What's mumble rap? Don't worry about it. Your kids are gonna love it."
Yep, your kids are gonna love it.
You know what you do is for this Back to the Future going back to 94 movie, what you do is you have it where Marty accidentally gives all of these. He asks questions about the present or his present. And it gives somebody ideas in 1994 and they become corrupt and powerful. And there's like no way to fix it. So like Marty's first time going back, he fucks up the timeline. It's not about his parents getting together anymore. because his parents are divorced and he doesn't like his dad because he doesn't believe in his music or something. You know, we gotta make it modern, right? And his girlfriend's, you know,
whoa. His partner. We can't say girlfriend. Jesus, it's 2024, Jeff. What the fuck?
Oh, welcome in, Kendo.
Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you, man. A lot of people in the chat were asking about you, and now, folks, you don't have to wait for Coach Kendo. We were just being reminded by Nick that if Back to the Future was made today, Marty would go back to 94, and Dion his back gave out. So there you go, Kendo. You're all caught up on tonight's show.
Well, hopefully he'd be able to talk to the people back in 1994.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's true. If he was a kid now, he'd be screwed. He'd be entirely screwed.
Yeah, the English language has changed so much in the last 30 years.
But Morse code still works.
Oh my God. Oh, we're starting that again, aren't we? Oh Jesus.
I didn't say nothing.
I'm gonna go get a drink. You guys fight to the death, all right?
Oh
no, there's no dying on tonight's show,
man. You know, he took a little beating. He'll get over it. It'll scab over.
God damn. Oh man.
So, folks, now that Kendo's here, we can officially start tonight's show. Now, real quick, last week we were trying to get to 10% for Woke Busters by the end of the show. Now we're going for 20. So, folks, I want to thank everyone who backed it. You'll be seeing me promote Woke Busters on different platforms starting next week. But that's all for now. We're going to keep this pitch like a dolphin's butthole, watertight. And that's a reference to one of my favorite movies from 1994. And that's it, folks. You can find out more about Woke Busters by going to the website, finding us on Kickstarter, and getting yourselves a copy right now. If you have any questions, ask me right here or info@worldclassbullshitters.com, and we'll send you a response. So, guys, let's start tonight's show by checking in with the audience because it's D-Day. We have some D-Day comments, and we'd like to talk to the audience about them. So first off, so Georgian says, Coach Kendo or Big Nick, an author I follow, J. Ishiro Finley, author of Boobs of Steel, says, Colonel Sanders would trade catering KFC meals for product placement and cameos in horror films. True or false?
Don't know.
How about this? I'll say true. Nick says false. So that way, no matter what, we win.
There you go. I say it's bullshit.
WCBS is always right, boys. That's what we're learning from tonight's answer. We're never wrong because we guess everything. We're like Mac on It's Always Sunny. No, not that way. We just play both sides because we're always coming out on top. Oh, thank you, though, Georgian. Now, here's the thing, though, guys. Product placement in horror films, KFC, it really is if that's the truth, though, that's a brilliant idea because think of it. That'd be like, what are some other better product placements? Because your core audience is going to eat KFC that watches.
No, there is a better product placement. There's one that I can only think of, Jeff, and I think you have the button for it. You have the button for it.
Oh, you mean buttons like this?
It is pointless to resist, my son.
The official beer.
That works. It
Wars.
fucking worked.
It's
It
just
fucking
so
worked.
perfect. That shit is so perfect.
I
Oh
can't
my
wait
God.
to find some cervezas Cristal for the eventual Lakeside lockdown. I guess we should get that out of the way since they have postponed the fight. We have postponed Lakeside lockdown. So, folks, whenever we find out the new date, you'll find out what the status of Lakeside lockdown is. But, boys, we should still see each other and hang out for the first time in 5 years almost.
No,
right?
definitely.
4
We
years?
should.
Right.
Yeah. No, we should try to plan a little, something for that time.
It'll be everything we plan to do minus anything for the channel.
That sounds good. I'm okay with that.
We'll go to Big John Steak and Onion and a
Yep.
couple other places like Sky Mint, and then we'll have a good day.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
We'll find something to watch.
Oh, dude, we will finally watch those shitty made-for-TV's 90s films, like
Here we
the ones that
go.
we were going nuts for, that Hillary hates and everybody else hates, but you and I are like laser focused on,
Oh my
like,
God.
oh my God. The thing is,
That's
I
so
watched-
Is that
it
Tom
takes me
Skerritt?
back. Yeah, it
Yep.
takes me back. I'm like, did I see this as a kid? Am I having like a flashback?
Yeah, I bought a couple on DVD from eBay. I think around Christmas time. So I have a few of them.
Hell yeah.
Shrebbles08, thank you very much. We have the word of the day, folks, from Shrebbles08. The word of the day is KK. Star Wars: Revenge of Kathleen Kennedy. A fistful of Kathleen Kennedy. Rise of the Kathleen Kennedy Nation. The rise of evil. The Kathleen Kennedy story. And Minecraft of Kathleen Kennedy. Well, folks, the Star Wars franchise is a lot like a new version of Mindscape that I'm learning how to code myself. It's just a foot, and then you step in a dog turd, but you can't avoid the dog turd because everything Disney produces is one. So there you go, folks. WCBS Gaming will have our first game out, 2032? It'll be available on Atari 2600 systems everywhere.
Oh, God. Well, at least hopefully it'll be more functional than the last, or what is it, the AEW game?
It will be. It will be. That game doesn't work at all, and TNA is a much better wrestling product than AEW, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
That's saying a lot,
bro. I went to the last 2 TNA tapings for free. TNA. They put on a hell of a show. Like, for being a free show, I was very entertained. I wouldn't have been pissed if I paid like $40 or $50 to see that show. They put on a decent card. It wasn't garbage, so gotta give credit where credit's due.
Well, better than Tony Khan coming out and screaming at the fans. So
they actually announced they're finally going to stop doing that shit.
Well, then where's the lulls going to come from, guys? Like,
you'll give us plenty
announcements. It's going to be on the official Twitter. It's just a line of something. Like Tony Khan's like, "I'm here with an announcement, guys," and he just looks into the camera and talks about it.
Wipe your nose, Tony.
Oh, sorry, Dad. Anyway, you know what we should do? We should do an old ECW style promo. Remember how Stone Cold made fun of everybody when he would do there's a famous promo Stone Cold did in ECW where he's talking about WCW and all those guys. And that. We should do a parody of that promo of Tony Khan on coke. I think that would really hit with our Twitter audience. They'd love it.
Definitely.
Let's give Shrebbles08 some Kathleen Kennedy titles. So we have Kathleen Kennedy Busters, which is not part of Woke Busters, folks. There is the amazing Kathleen. She's not amazing. On Golden Kathleen Kennedy.
On Golden Kathleen Kennedy, or Hot Tub Kathleen Kennedy machine. I don't know. This one's a tougher one because you got to add 2 words and the bitch ugly.
Bitch ain't happy.
I mean, her show is doing so well. I don't see why she wouldn't be happy.
Guys, it's the #1 show on Disney Plus for Tuesday, June 4th at
for what?
9
Kazakhstan?
PM.
What are you talking about?
Look, everybody on planet Earth stopped what they were doing. They looked at their televisions and they went, "It's about time," and they got ready to watch the.
It's about time to change a channel.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, where's my
switch it over to Bluey. That's more entertaining.
Oh my God.
I will literally watch anything.
Is the paint drying channel still on? I'll watch that. That seems a lot more entertaining.
I will watch the credits of a Bob Ross episode first. Okay, that'd be a much better waste of time. I miss the painting. I miss the voice. I get that music though, and that's much better. But folks, the Acolyte videos, I almost called them the Kathleen Kennedy videos. She's not really a part of them. You don't have to watch the Acolyte to get involved with the show or the conversation. You just check out the WCBS videos that we have for you here, and you'll get a full synopsis before you even get any of the more crazy shit. Our last couple of videos have been rocketing up the charts. Welcome to our couple of 100 new subscribers. We appreciate you guys. Welcome into the channel. And folks, we are getting that gold play button. Mark my words. We'll be there real soon. Thank you, though, Shrebbles08. Xavier to God says, Jeff and Dion, will you be getting Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? What is it?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Oh, it's a video game. Okay.
Oh.
Let's see. Step into the arena. It's was revealed at Games Awards 2023. Oh, it's like Budokai. Oh, okay. You know,
the beginning to Rey Mysterio's fucking entrance music. Budokai, Budokai.
619.
What you gonna do when we come for you?
619, 619. See, that's a good song.
Mirror, mirror, watch out. Okay, so I'm looking at the trailer for it right now. Yeah, I'll play this. Now, I don't really have any connection to the blue-haired version of Dragon Ball Z or Super or any of that Superman God shit, but hey, I'm not here to dunk on it. I'm just here to tell you I finished Dragon Ball Z. And guys, I know everybody talks about Game of Thrones having a bad ending. I felt honeydicked by the end of Dragon Ball Z. It's a kid's show, I get it, but the character goes, hey, I'm going to go train this kid. Sorry, I'm going to leave you guys for a couple years. I'll be back. I don't know when. Bye. And then that is almost what he says, like verbatim. And he just flies off. And he picks up his kids like, we're going to go, and we're going to go to your village and train you. And like his wife's like, you're leaving me again? It is the dumbest structure of a television show ever. I'll save it for its own video. There we go. What the fuck, Dragon Ball Z? Goku's terrible. Tim Riggs, thank you very much. Still love you guys, but a reminder, this is 80 years since D-Day and almost 10,000 men passed on this date as part of the largest invasion in human history and being a former USA holiday. And, history nerd requires, I call those our, I don't know what, sorry, Tim. If you send in the rest of it, I would love to read it. But yeah, so today's D-Day, Kendo.
Yeah.
Stormed the beaches of Normandy, correct?
Yes, it was the Normandy invasion. It wasn't just on the beaches. There was paratroopers that fell in as well. Go watch Band of Brothers. Episode 2 is all about it. But that 10,000 men, that seems high. That might be the total casualty number, but I'm fairly certain based on what I've read that the total dead was 4,400-ish, with 2,500 of those being Americans, the rest being British and some fucking Canadians.
The other day, I went down some internet rabbit hole and I got onto reading stuff about Normandy. I never really do a lot of World War II research or history, but now I don't know. I'm old. I do that stuff. But anyway, I went down the rabbit hole. Maybe I'll go watch Band of Brothers since I haven't seen it. Or watch,
my God, dude,
that's a very good show to watch.
I'm pretty sure it's on HBO Max, right?
It is on HBO Max. You can watch that, and then you can watch The Pacific, which is good, but not as good as Band of Brothers. And then you can go and get Apple TV for a month to hurry up and watch all of Masters of the Air, which is an all-right show too. Band of Brothers is the best of the three. And then if you want to, you can go read the books, because I've read all of them except Masters of the Air. I started reading that one, and then I got busy with a bunch of other bullshit. I'll read.
You are a busy man right now, DIT.
Tell me about it.
Dit Kendo, man, you are busting your ass. Professor Enrique Vasquez says, Professor Kendo, what's an interesting fact for D-Day?
If you want an interesting fact for June 6th in general, the United States cricket team beat Pakistan today, which is a huge deal. If you follow cricket, which most people in this country don't, but I do to a degree, and it would be the equivalent of at the World Cup, the Democratic Republic of the Congo beating Argentina. So that would be that. Or Glass Joe beating Mike Tyson, if you want to go even further back.
Oh.
I mean, that's not even a real country. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, most of them are in Britain anyway, but it was a big deal. It's like my buddy just sent me over. He's like, are you watching the cricket? I'm like, no, I still have a work job that I have to go to because we believe in going to school until June. And I did not get a chance to watch him win that one. So, but it's kind of like when the U.S. won the gold medal in curling a few years ago at the Olympics. It was a really big deal, and people stopped caring about it. But if you want an actually real interesting, fun fact of D-Day, you could go with the fact that one of the things we were able to do to fool the Germans to a degree was they thought we were going to go through through Calais, which is the shortest distance between the British mainland and mainland Europe. And the main reason why they went to Normandy is because they figured that was the furthest away point, and therefore that would be the one they would be least likely to expect. And in order to really sell the gimmick, they had a bunch of huts and training barracks and fake tanks and all this other shit built in that area of where the invasion would have taken place if we were to invade at the shortest part of the channel, to fool any Germans that flew overhead into thinking, wow, they're massing a whole lot of shit here. If the Germans would have flew a little bit further south, they would have been like, oh shit, there's way more stuff down here. They're going to Normandy.
Well, there you go, Enrique. Now, folks, we are going to start talking about the Acolyte, and we're going to check in because our next couple messages are about World War II. So what we'll do is after we talk about the Acolyte, we will go back to talking about World War II, and we'll quiz Coach Kendo. Now, Kendo, I guess I should change the quiz. I forgot. I have it on World Wars today. Do you want another World War II quiz instead? You want a Normandy quiz?
Just give me two. Just give me the original one that you had so you don't have to do any extra work, and then find me a different one.
All right. World War II quiz. There we go.
I mean, last time I checked, it doesn't matter because who's won the most world wars? Us, back-to-back World War champions. And
well, Kendo, I got
a repeat before too long.
Well, Kendo, the Department of Defense has a D-Day. What is your D-Day IQ? So there we go. We'll play that later on tonight. Now, folks, hit that thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you enjoyed this content. Press that thumbs up button to let Rumble know that you enjoy this content. Share us on Twitch. Share us on Twitter. Share us everywhere we are. It helps WCBS grow. Now, Dion, you and I were texting back and forth the other day because we watched a show titled The Acolyte when we had a lot to say about The Acolyte. Now, folks, I'm not going to go and give you a review. I did that on video. We have the video. You're watching the video. Thank you for watching the video. We see the numbers going up all the time. While you're watching those videos, just enjoy yourself. But we don't need to repeat that because we already covered it. So while I get this image in the tab ready to have a visual on screen, that's what me stalling for time for is. Like if we were in a movie and we had a gun on us, I think I'd get us safe enough to where we could distract the guy to where Dion could tackle him or some bullshit. So there we go, Dion. My rambling skills will pay off and save somebody's life one day. So anyway, folks, so you have the Acolyte here on screen. Now, of course, you can't have a Disney Star Wars show without political drama and garbage and bullshit. And believe me, the press is out. They are really doing their best right now. And we are working overtime here at WCBS to make fun of all of their crap. So join me tomorrow. I might have 2 videos out about this because one isn't enough. One is so bad, I couldn't get through it because I couldn't stop laughing. Maybe 2018 Jeff would have rolled his eyes in anger, but 2024 Jeff laughs at their stupidity. People that write these articles, try harder. We're not Russian bots. We're not anything. We're just dissatisfied. Leave it be. So that fun will come tomorrow, friends. But tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about this show. Now, you've heard my views. You've heard my opinions. You heard us watch it live on Tuesday, which we'll do again. I will be live at 10 o'clock next week again. But Dion has not had a chance to tell people about his opinions of the Acolyte. You weren't very happy when we talked to each other. What did you think of the Acolyte, my friend?
It's just not very good. It's just not very good. It's Disney, Lucasfilm they're still in the this, then this, then this, then this happens, and it's all loosely based on Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. I thought it looked great. It looked pretty darn good, but it's just, they're still doing the same thing, right? It has to be so heavy-handed. All the characters have to have all these complications and everything. We got to know everything about everybody, and this straight refusal to have a true antagonist, a true bad guy. The Lucasfilm did an absolute awful job. I mean, 1 and 2 were clearly meant to set up the remainder of the plot. So whatever happens in the next few episodes, I'm sure that there are going to be a number of twists and turns and emotional revelations. But it's just not very good. Clearly someone who knows of Star Wars was paid to make a super emotional thing loosely based on Star Wars, and characters that you do not care for. And it's trying way too hard. Just trying way too hard.
Dude, how dumb was it that this show was marketed on Carrie-Anne Moss being the Jedi? That's going to be this big part of the show, and they're going to sell you on this Matrix callback, and she's dead in 4 minutes. Like, she doesn't even make it out of the pre-credit sequence.
Nope. It's she's in the intro to the show. She's setting up your well, for now, your antagonist. And it's just, I mean, overall, the scene itself, I mean, as an action scene, it wasn't that bad. It's a very generic, and that was another thing that was a part of the press junket, was they were talking of how they were trying to incorporate, martial arts into Star Wars, and that they were very excited about it. And obviously having, Trinity in the show was a part of that marketing. And it was, whoever is doing the choreography for the fight scenes, like I'm probably look that up here in a minute, but that was like, even the way the fight scenes were done was like this, then this, then this, then this happens. Like it's very much it's Star Wars, and we spent a lot of money on it, but we're gonna spoon feed everything. It's like, the fact that she walks into the room is like, I'm here to kill you, and gets in her fighting stance. Now attack me. Like, what? It's like that. That's like being threatened by a middle schooler, and even, I'm going to kick your butt, throw the first punch, so, and I have no doubt that there's going to be a whole episode about why she says that, and it's, you can tell that, what was the director's name or whatever?
Leslie Headland.
Yeah, Helen. She does not know how to make interesting things. It's right. It's very much indicative of what's wrong with Hollywood in general. The idea that you can't understand the plot, and you damn sure can't understand the message unless we spoon feed it to you. Whatever the twist is in the remainder of the Acolyte, Lucasfilm very clearly wants you to like these characters. So it is a very, very over the top high school drama project in terms of how it was structured and what they're telling the actors to do. It is, oh my gosh, it's just trying way too hard, and it's not really about Star Wars.
Real quick.
Yes.
Can we on this channel decide something right now, right here? From now on, going forward, her new name is Empty Headland.
Sure.
Okay.
Empty Headland. There we go.
There we go. That's all I've got to contribute to the Acolyte, because I ain't watching it. I got other shit to do.
Dude, look it. I'll take I'll bite the bullet for this one. Okay, guys? You don't have to watch it. You don't have to think about it. Dion organically watched it. Now we have something to talk about. It's like,
I know. I saw the running commentary in our chat while he was organically watching.
Same here. Yeah, same here.
I'm sitting here fucking graphing functions, and Dion is just giving me the rundown on Acolyte. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't watch that, and I kind of gave up after the second season of Mandalorian.
Well, I mean, we could always also call her Harvey Weinstein's former assistant.
That is true. That is not a pejorative statement.
That is not a lie. That's not a lie. Even the people are like, well, it was only a year. It's like, listen, if she was a dude,
did it.
If she was a dude and that happened, no job at all, ever. No job.
He would have got, or she would have got canceled right with Harvey. She might not be in the same jail cell, but they would have probably dragged her in front of court to say, what do you know and when did you know it?
Exactly. Yeah, but we can't have the conversation.
No. Anyway, Empty Headland it is.
We'll have it on. We'll do one of those Spaces hangouts, Nick, over on X.
Yeah, man, if you want to do it tomorrow, we can do it. We can do it tomorrow if we want to.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Let me see where my schedule is, because I've been making these videos, so it's like,
I know you. Yeah, you're back to it, man, and like this is hitting big, so I understand.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat right now. You guys are awesome, so thank you guys for joining us live here. If you're enjoying it, hit thumbs up. Yes, the Crapolite is a good name for this show. Now, Dion, I thought the show, you talk about things just happen because plot, like you always say. My complaint was the way the show was edited, things would end when they shouldn't end. It's like you're in the middle of a beat for something to happen. Like the second, okay, so folks, they're like, hey, girl, come on, let's go. Directed by Leslie Headland. Like, they don't even do some like epic sweeping, whatever. And then the next one, they're just like, the Wookiee Jedi. Like, you see this planet, These two hunters are on there. The Wookiee growls them and they run away. And you think, all right, cool. What are we going to see this Wookiee Jedi do? He walks in a door and then the episode just ends. Like, it's structured in a really weird way that you're waiting for more to happen. And then you go, oh, wait, that's over?
Did they build on that?
No, not yet.
I saw
Not
something
yet,
like, on my Facebook timeline. I just saw somebody like put a big old blurb on it. It's like Wookiee Jedi. And I'm like, oh, well, at least he's excited about it. I'm sure the two people I know that I talk to on a daily basis probably are not as excited about the Wookiee Jedi.
It literally did nothing. It growled at the hunters ran off, and then it walked through a door, and the episode just ends. You're like, okay, fine.
That is the most on-brand Kathleen Kennedy fucking Disney honey dick ever. I swear to God.
Yeah, dirty.
Well, and they don't know how to structure. Yeah, they don't know how to structure the episode. So like even like on that point too, whenever they're trying to do the Star Wars transitions, they're awkwardly done too. So it's just everything that the characters are doing, at least for the first 2 episodes, is to set up to the next thing instead of like naturally get you to the next part of the plot. So when you're transitioning, they'll be talking a very dramatic pause and then a very awkward Star Wars pan over to the next scene. And it's just like, hey, she knows how to make something kind of Star Wars. It's just so awkward. Just so the characters are all awkwardly interacting with one another. Like, I'm going to say this dramatic because I have to.
It sounds like Disney's been making memorabilia Star Wars for 10 years now.
I
mean, there's a lot of references, that they very much loved going through the whole Jedi thing. Well, they're at the temple and the Jedi Master, they're going over, I'm sorry that the person involved is your former apprentice, but we want you to take care of it. And then, it's just, and then when characters do things, you can tell that they're being done to get you to the next thing, as opposed to, hey, here's a character in this environment making this decision. And they just have no idea how to do that in this show. Very clearly have no idea.
No, I don't think they know how to like really tell a coherent story here, because they're trying to set up a mystery that isn't a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way they thought people would be hooked on this, right? I thought it was more obvious than Palpatine being Darth Sidious in The Phantom Menace. You're just like, oh, it's the Emperor in a cloak. Okay, I get it. Like, I'm like, oh, that's not the same person. Okay, like, I don't care. That's the problem. The apathy. I'm not invested in the character. You have to build to something, folks. I'm a storyteller too. You have to build to something for an audience to care. You can't just have this mystery like dropped within, like, really, folks, it's so clear in about 9 to 10 minutes of this show. They don't give you any chance to build towards it. It's not like you figured it out because it was poorly structured by the end of the first episode. You're just like, right away you see right through it. You're like, oh, she has a twin sister. Maybe she's the evil one. Oh, duh. But the thing is, the characters still go on about the mystery. The characters still treat her.
Cliche.
Dude,
they went soap opera on it.
You know how you can tell the evil one apart? She's got longer dreads.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
that's it.
They went really tropey with it. Then.
Yeah, I was guessing mustache. That's usually how.
I was gonna say, did she have like a little scar on her or something? Like
that's another one. That's another one.
The evil twin.
Yeah. She has a tattoo.
Well, in terms of, even then, it's you know that the way this story is being built is she's going to turn good again, right? So they immediately like I said, they tell you that they're sisters from the beginning. There's no build to it. There's nothing. They're sisters, right? And it's the evil one is like, you're going to pay for what you've done. And she's going after these Jedi Masters. And because you can tell that they're like, shit, we're not supposed to tell right now. We'll just have each one say something, allude to something that the Jedi did and it's done in the most cliche way. Like the takes off her face, you, right? But it's just so ridiculously melodramatic and like teasing this acolyte or whatever in the trailer, and none of that shit is happening. So we got to wait till the real big bad comes out of nowhere, and we're stuck with this Tuesday night WB melodrama of two sisters.
Tuesday night would have been a better acting choice.
Yep, it would.
Is Empty Headland the writer too, or just the director?
I think she did both.
I think she's I think she's like the showrunner and all
here.
kinds of stuff. I think this is like her baby.
Oh,
because it's about time that her voice is heard in Star Wars.
If this is her baby, I am suddenly very pro-choice.
God damn.
That's good.
Was that too on the nose? I mean, it's an election year.
It's good. I like it. Let's stick with it.
Oh man, Father O'Malley, that's rough, bro. I mean, you could probably get one of those Kathleen Kennedy scented candles on Goop.
Oh my God! Well,
yeah,
no. The comment before about Tia and Tamara was actually was funny. It also reminded me that they were in a Are for the Dark episode where they were like good sister, bad sister.
Were they on Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yep, they were.
All the child actors from the 90s were.
Yeah,
on
and it was fun. It's funny because they were in I think the episode was like about lizard people or something. It's kind of funny.
Very timely too to certain people I know.
Yeah, it is.
Crikey. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that episode. Kendo. Yes, folks. We have some articles to read about the Acolyte because it can't just be a crappy Star Wars show.
Okay, so she's a creator, she's a showrunner, she's also the producer. No, she's the executive
She was also Harvey Weinstein's assistant. Thank
you for constantly reiterating that because people need to remember that.
Not to jump the gun, but someone in the chat, TLJ Screwjob, talked about I can't get over the twin died years ago. It's her Shaggy defense. I knew it wasn't you. Hire retarded writers, get retarded scripts. Here's the thing, Dion. They both they both see each other. They thought each one was dead.
Yeah.
Like the revenge.
Wait. No. You cannot do the twins thought each other was dead. That doesn't work because we've seen the original Star Wars movies. They did the original Star Wars movies where like the Luke and Leia could feel each other in the Forest and that bullshit.
They weren't twins in the first movie, man.
They weren't, but like we got there towards the end, and like they're trying to do this. They're trying to fucking bring the member berry back or something in this one.
I've got a quick question.
Or so I don't know. That's fucking terrible.
If they're both Force sensitive, how come they just can't sense each other? We learned this in the very first movie when Darth Vader can tell Obi-Wan is on the Death Star just because he can feel him in the Force. Or when Luke is flying past Endor and the little shuttle, when Chewie's trying to fly casual, and Luke can say, "I'm endangering the mission," because he can sense Darth Vader is there, and Darth Vader knows Luke is there, and that's why he's like, "Let him through, because I'm gonna go fuck my kid up."
Well, the reason they're not doing that or explain that, from the beginning they're doing the twins sharing dreams thing. So that's how the show starts. Is
if one of the twins gets punched in the arm, does the other twin feel it?
Yeah.
The eventual superhero main character is like having dreams, and she keeps waking up, and the sister's having dreams too. So that's what they're doing. They're doing the "we share our dreams."
So they're doing the thing from the Disney Stars where it's the Force. It's the Force Skype call where you can like reach through and like get stuff.
Yeah, it's like
bro, I'm sad and I'm hungry. Can you Force Skype call me a pizza?
Can you
download me a hoagie off the internet?
Can you Force Uber Eats me, please?
Yeah, I could really go for a bag of Doritos and a Coke right now.
I need to harp on the fact that this girl's on a revenge mission to avenge her sister, and she's also wanting to get revenge because the Jedi left her in a fire that she started. But here's the thing: she saw her sister. Why don't they just talk and go, "Oh wait, we're in the middle of this"? Like,
how do you have this much money and you bought the dude stuff. He's still alive. You ask him questions, but like, how do you fuck this up all the time so badly? Oh my God.
I don't know.
Like it's.
But seriously,
they
Nick,
think that this is good. It's I don't know. It's this, new age way of storytelling. We want you to get our message, and we are incapable of making that message interesting. They just don't know how to do it. I mean, they do know how to do it, but they just think that this is going to be popular. They're trying to have this weird relationship with, the internet and whatever property that they have, and they're still doing it with fucking Star Wars. It's very strange. They don't want there to be any interesting characters. They just, they all have these emotional ties, and that's what people like, right? And hey, by the way, they're very sad about it. It's just like, okay.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I don't know, man. Like, is there are they walking out, and are they walking touching grass? Are they actually going to see reality instead of sitting on their phones all the time? Because like it seems like they have no grasp on like the simplest Star Wars lore.
They just don't care.
Terrible.
They clearly just don't care. Like this
them.
era of Lucasfilm, they don't want the Jedi to be cool. They don't want the Jedi to be interesting. They want them to be the moral, superior characters in their universe. And even with this, right, this whole the Jedi did something. You have the guy go, we thought we were doing the right thing. And then you have her master who's just like, I always knew that it's like, then why is she not a Jedi? Oh yeah, because plot. We need to have some type of over emotional, complicated vehicle to get the story across, and they just don't care about the Star Wars lore. They don't care about it being recognizable. They just want it to say Star Wars and then be talked about nicely on Twitter, and it's just very, very weird.
Yeah, I was looking at the Acolyte to see, how many credits Leslie Headland has. Apparently, she has one less than Elizabeth. What's her name for her movie? Man, it's yeah. I remember reading messages as well from you guys. I was like, this doesn't sound good, and I watched a little bit of the High Council. I was like, none of this is at all good. And when I was looking up the Acolyte, they had the Deadline article saying, oh, there was 4.8 million people watching or something in the first 2 episodes. Like,
I bet that number goes down.
Well, here's the funny thing. In that same Deadline article, they're like, oh, Ahsoka got 14 million views in the first 5 days. I'm like, you're really stretching the bar.
Yep. You can't look bad publicly
because when did the 2 episodes drop? They dropped Tuesday, right?
Yep. At 9
Okay,
p.m.
so they're like the number, like obviously the numbers don't lie, but like it's 4.8 in the last 2 days, and then it's 14 million over 5 days. Like that's bad. That's bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the excuses and the review bombing and all that stuff. Of course,
no. The best thing everybody can do is not review bomb. Don't thumbs down. Don't review them. The best thing you if you really want to do, if you want to protest, don't buy or stream Disney Plus, and then don't watch the Acolyte.
Yeah,
just
don't
watch our video.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay the money.
And if you want to criticize the Acolyte, do it in a way that you actually pull out points, and you make those points, and you support it with evidence from the videos.
I mean, if you really want to watch it, you can always sail the high seas. There's always that. There's
that too.
Sit right back, and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip.
Yeah, I mean, and
got a virus up on his laptop.
LimeWire, I miss you.
Now, guys, because this show has to be bad, of course they're going to make it political.
How the fuck?
According to a rumor, new Disney Star Wars series, The Acolyte, to confirm the Force is literally a female.
So I mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised, especially. I mean, obviously, after watching all the previous shows, I wasn't surprised. But after watching this, I would not be surprised if they try something like that.
You want me to read
again?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, read
Please.
it. Yeah.
All right. We'll read it in just a second. Don't you just hate wokeness and the toll it takes on society? Well, bust it with Wokebusters. Set in a world where outrage turns people into literal monsters, Wokebusters follows the 4 men who step up to save society from itself. It's funny, colorful, and action-packed. This 100-page epic is only available on Kickstarter for a limited time, so act now before the clock runs out and wokeness wins. Got outrage? Call Wokebusters.
All right, then.
According to the latest whispers, to echo out the once beloved galaxy far, far away, the Acolyte will see the fundamental Star Wars concept of the Force as in the non-tangible energy produced by the everyday living being and wielded by the Jedi and Sith throughout the entirety of the franchise, revealed as an inherently female being. This supposed plan for the Acolyte to further subvert Star Wars fans' expectations, as ostensibly cooked up by the showrunner Leslie Headland, was first teased to the public by noted Disney scooper WDW Pro. Relaying the information provided to him by an alleged insider, and we've heard stuff from people who've seen the next 2 episodes, because we know people who know people, relaying information provided to him. The details scooped, Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland are going to do something in the Acolyte that's going to essentially end what remaining fans they have. And they're going to literally change the Force itself into a literal female, a gendered female Force. Notably, this development was to provide context for the previous tease by Film Threats Alan, who made a June 2nd live stream and talked about how the show will die within the first 4 episodes. We made a video about that, folks. Seemingly hinting that the tease had something to do with the Acolyte's supposedly franchise-bearing 3rd episode. Speaking from a behind the Disney-backed non-disclosure agreement, I'll just say this fundamentally changes the future of Star Wars. Now, guys, I've heard from some sources that they might have either a birth, like another Immaculate Conception in the Force with these twins, which is going to undo the whole Anakin thing, or there's this, or there might be a literal female who is the genesis of the Force. Let's just play with it. This is real. Let's just play with it. I get it. It could be fake. We'll acknowledge it before we even talk about what could it be. But if it's real, this is like we've talked about dumb crap. We've talked about every form of entertainment. We've talked about stupidity in it. This would be the dumbest, most sabotaging move you could ever do. Like, you will never make people happy in Star Wars. You thought people bitched about midichlorians? This would you don't remember, folks. Star Wars fans are smarter than your average bear, and they remember everything. So every change, every alteration, every stupid little detail that you add and ruins the once perfect Star Wars movies. Well, there you go. Now you got this shit. So Dion, if this is real, how would you feel about it?
I mean, yeah, if it was real, not that I'm in the business of fighting invisible enemies, but yeah, if this is real, I would just laugh my ass off, because that would be the most melodramatic, sloppy attempt to be different ever. I mean, that would be hilariously stupid. You know, I don't imagine even the people who you are trying to entice by making that decision, you know, they don't, you know, they don't want that for this franchise. Now, you know, that just seems, it feels very, you know, Tuesday night WB primetime lineup. It feels very CW. It feels very, very amateur, right? Like you are just so desperate to try and tickle that part of the market that you are coming up with things that are just plain silly. So yeah, I would laugh. I would just be like, yep, okay, let's see how bad this gets, right? You know, especially if even in the way that the show is now, if they do it in that very highly emotional, you know, Sunday night drama movie on NBC level bullshit, it would be the funniest and obviously the saddest thing ever.
I just Googled out of curiosity the Acolyte toys, and apparently Big Bad Toy Store has like 5 of them for pre-order.
Yep, I'm gonna make a video on that one too, Nick.
I had because like I was out of curiosity. Like, oh, did they make toys? Oh, fuck, they did.
Yes.
$26 to $18.
Black Series?
Yeah, Black Series is what I'm looking at. Black Series.
African American series.
I'm sorry. African American series.
Chocolate Thunder series.
That works too. That's
right.
acceptable.
That is acceptable, yes. But yeah, there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Jeez, who? They're on. Yeah, they're on. Hasbro Pulse, and also like big. Like who wants these?
Here's the thing: the people that want them are going to pre-order them now because there are completionists out there that have to obsessively have every Star Wars toy. I'm a big collector, as you can see. I don't really like interacting with like people that obsessively gotta get everything. Like I gotta get this and this. It's like, why do you want it? Not really. I just gotta have it all. It's like that's why they make crap, because you gotta get it all. If you just didn't buy the crappy parts, they'd only make the good parts, and then they'd have to find a way to make the good parts even better, and then we all win. But long story short, some people out there do not have the self-control to not buy Star Wars toys, so they're going to buy them. But what you're not going to see is cases of your Kafar and the Green Alien and all this. You're not going to see cases of them show up at Target and Walmart and all these stores. You'll see like a case pop up. There is enough people out there that will buy through like one case of a toy. You'll think it's popular, that's all that will ever go out there. If they overproduce it, you'll know about it at Ollie's in the future. Like Reva, there's like 18 of them just sitting there. But who else is there? Nobody from Obi-Wan, just her. So they still do those stupid things and they overproduce figures. But they are cutting back because Hasbro is the one that has to pay. They have to pay the license, and then they have to pay to produce the toys and shit. Disney already made their money on those Acolyte figures that they're marketing right now. They are already paid, folks. So it's not like anyone can support them by buying them. They already are paid.
Speaking of which, I just found out that there are 3 Ollies around me. I need to take video for you next time you do a toy thing.
Are you sure? Because I was told Ollie's isn't real.
I'll take video for Instagram. Be like, look, it's real.
Hey, Nick, Redman Productions has an excellent question/point.
Okay.
Will the new email be put in the description and all my links? Will you add that to all my links?
Yeah, I can.
That you built the last one?
Yeah. That won't be a problem.
And then I will put it in the link later on in the video. Sure. Remember, folks, it's just info, like INFO, at worldclassbullshitters.com. That way, it's very easy, it's very direct, and nobody will have to remember, is it like podcast or all these different words? Just info at worldclassbullshitters.com.
Yeah, I'll make sure, because I think the other email's in there as well. I'll make sure this one is there too. This way it's nice and accessible for everybody.
Yeah, because what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to shut that email down by the end of the end of July, in case anybody has questions during Wokebusters or anything like that. So
yeah,
we'll keep it live.
Let's keep it live for that, and then we'll then we can shut it down.
Because there will be a worldclassbullshitters.com, folks. It'll be perfect. You can learn more about our trip to Japan when we go next year for Star Wars Celebration. So for anybody out there that hasn't heard, WCBS is going to Japan for Star Wars Celebration. We already purchased the tickets. We've made the announcement. And folks, the countdown is on. Get ready. It's going to be a great year. 2024 is already the year of the bullshitter. So next year, we're going international. Be classy.
Yeah, make sure everybody watching smashes that like button. We need to fight that algorithm.
Yeah, we're winning now, man. So, folks, just keep watching the content. That really helps us to watch through the whole thing. We know exactly what you want to see. Now, guys, it's been a minute since we checked in with the audience. Correct? Should we check in with them before we talk about this being the gayest Star Wars series ever?
Sure.
I mean, look, those aren't my words. Those are the words that I'm quoting directly from Leslie Headland. Directly from Leslie Headland, as the Rock
Harvey
said.
Weinstein's old assistant.
Yes, former Harvey Weinstein assistant, Empty Headland. That is her official name here on the show.
There you go.
But guys, let's check in with the audience because people have a lot of stuff they want to say to us today, including a little bit of some WWII love for Kendo. Kendo, are you still here, or you just got the mic off or camera off? All right, folks. Well, we'll get to those in just a second. Kendo had to step away. TLJ Screwjob says Colonel Sanders cameoed in Hell's Bloody Devils. Nick, have you seen that film?
No, it was made in the 70s. Oh, okay. That's an interesting picture that pops up for that movie immediately.
Is it an Italian beaver picture?
No, it's a man raising his hand above his head with a particular flag behind him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like that's one of the first pictures. I'm like, oh, okay, so it makes sense.
Maybe we won't show that one.
Don't pop it up on the screen.
You know what we could do in the future, but I won't do because it's silly. I could do like, hey folks, you know the thing we couldn't show you on YouTube? Well, go to worldclassbullshitters.com and look at what we're looking at, and then it'll be there, and then everybody can be like, oh my god, that's an offensive picture. But it's like, why would you post it on your website? And then there's an actual video to explain why. Oh, we're just talking about this, and YouTube's weird.
Yeah, YouTube is kind of
now. Kendo, now that you're back, we have a couple World War II questions / comments. Shrubbles08 says, sad fact, 10,000 men died just from training for D-Day. Then the Normandy landings. Also recommended reading is The Bedford Boys by Alex Kershaw.
That fact is not accurate. 10,000 men did not die training for D-Day. I mean, not American soldiers. There was the practice thing that they did that had something like 900 guys accidentally get killed, but that's a lot different than 10,000. But that did happen. His number might be a little wrong.
I'm not a history buff, so I cannot chime in. Sorry. I want to spend more time on the message. My grandparents were in World War II. They served, so there we go.
Yes. If I'm wrong, feel free to send me a source that corrects it, but I believe that number is inaccurate.
Yeah, I've never heard that either. 10,000.
I feel like I would have read something about 10,000 people getting killed trying to prepare for D-Day.
Right.
If that were the case, like, would it be like the training regiment was too hard, or they just tried a bunch of tactics that didn't work and they killed a bunch of their own people before the war?
Well, there would be that, but I know with the thing where they were doing the practice for D-Day, it was like something to do with the landings or something or another, and the tide was not right, and it drowned a bunch of guys or some shit or another.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's sad no matter who dies, how they die.
Right. I mean, I'm not trying. It's not good either way, but the thing to remember is we won the Normandy invasion, and we went on to win World War II, back-to-back World War champions.
America.
Fuck you.
TLJ Screwjob, thank you again for being a member as well. As bad as hitting that private with shell shock was for Patton, that rubber army across from Calais saved a lot of lives.
Yes, that was the thing I was talking about, where we set up the fake invasion to trick the Germans.
Oh. I didn't pay attention in history class, but I did because I, have the grades. But like, I don't remember. We just didn't learn the cooler parts of the war. They taught us like the same shit each and every year. They would just like extend it. So it's like you may learn about Anne Frank in the 3rd grade, but in the 8th grade you finally read the diary or whatever because you're like old enough. So it's like
the Helen Keller story is more compelling because she's the one that hid in the attic.
Oh yeah.
Anne Frank was just some deaf and dumb girl that the miracle worker had to knock some sense into.
Thanks, Randall.
Somebody's gonna clip that and be like, Kendo's anti-Semitic. Be like, no, I'm quoting Clerks 2.
Yeah.
So then Kevin Smith is anti-Semitic.
Yeah, Kevin Smith's the anti-Semitic one, not me. Allegedly.
I mean, he did talk about a curse in that movie. I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Homeboy said some shit in that one. I was like, here's the thing. It's not a problem. It's not offensive. It's a joke and it's funny. The society that we live in that finds it offensive is the problem. Yes. And that sucks. But thank you, TLJ Screwjob. Master Marlborough says, romancing the Kathleen. No, just no.
Yeah, why would you? No, that's a bad idea. We've said multiple times we've heard from reputable people that like she goes through assistance like every couple of months because she's just a terrible person.
She strikes me as a stapler thrower.
I want to see her get the wrong coffee.
She
in the world to me.
Yeah,
I bet
that's
she goes on
there.
I guarantee it's a Chris Rock type rant that he goes on in Jay and Silent Bob Strike
Exactly that one.
Okay, fucky. No, it's Banky. No, it is fucky. Jay Screwjob was a couple of ago. Thank you. Sazorjan, there we go. Before I forget, The Longest Day is free to view on YouTube right now.
Yep.
Red buttons portraying the paratrooper at Saint Mare. Wow, I can't read French. Is a classic. Kendo, could you correct my butchering of?
Are you talking about Saint Mary Glees?
Yeah, there you go. Saint Mary Glees. Thank you.
Or if you would like, I can give you the French pronunciation: croissant.
That sounds correct.
Baguette,
that sounds
correct.
Oui, baguette.
I could go.
Oh, God. Speaking of which, the Olympics are happening over there now.
Wait, no, already?
Yep.
When are the opening ceremonies now?
Dude,
So that's till the July 26th or whatever.
Was it July? Okay, all right.
I was like,
happening.
I actually care about the Olympics. We're not going to go on a sports tangent, folks. Do not worry.
Prediction: the United States will win the Olympics like we usually do.
Come on. We got skateboarding. One day we'll have video games in the Olympics. We're definitely
We won't win those competitions. Some kid from South Korea will.
No, our team will be a couple of kids in some really old neckbeard dude, and he is going to save our asses, and we're going to get the gold because of that guy. They're going to make a movie. Dan Fogler's going to play him. He's going to put on 50 pounds. It's going to be a classic comedy. So.
Haven't seen that guy in forever. Jeez.
He lost a bunch of weight. Now he does credible roles and shit we won't watch.
Yes. But back to the super chat. The Longest Day is a great movie. I suggest it highly. It is not exactly accurate, though, because when the troops land on Omaha Beach, you see them all running off the Higgins boats, all cheering and yelling and all happy and stuff instead of getting fucking mowed down by MG-42s.
Yeah. I'd rather have it be accurate, even if it's ugly and hard to watch.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, he looks incredibly different. Jesus.
TLJ Screwjob also says, read only bad okay stuff is made today. Kendo saying Band of Brothers is the best of those shows. It was released in 2001.
Holy shit, it was.
Yep.
Is that the one?
Well, thanks for making me feel old again.
No, that's not the one with Ricky Schroeder. That was the Lost Battalion.
Oh, sorry.
That's a fun movie, too. That's not a bad little movie. Actually, it's got a connection to Super Troopers because one of the people that gets lost in the woods is Andre Villapapaloosis or whatever his fucking name is. He's one of the stoner kids that they arrest at the beginning of the movie. And if you listen to the commentary track on Super Troopers, they talk about him and how he went off to film some kind of war movie or some kind of movie or something.
Oh, yeah.
And they wish him luck. So there's that connection there. But yes, I think the reason why Band of Brothers is better than the other two is because, one, with Band of Brothers, they concentrated specifically on just that one unit, and they took it from the book, that the Band of Brothers book written by Stephen Ambrose. So and they had a lot of the guys that were in Easy Company actually in the show, introducing and everything like that. So they had a lot of firsthand source material essentially given to them by the dudes. When they made the Pacific, it was based off of two books mostly. Both the men were deceased by the time they had done it. So I think that's part of the reason why. Plus, with the Pacific, they couldn't there was a lot of jumping around because they were following two different groups, three because of John Basilone, but he had been dead for a very long time by that time. And it was following their stories around. So there was a lot of bouncing around. So they couldn't just focus on one thing. And then with Masters of the Air, the book for that show is like this thick in terms of source material. They also went with the other one from the Navigator guy, which if they would have just focused on that would have been better. Plus, they were also talking about that whole group in the 8th Air Force over the course of a couple of years. It's kind of hard to fit all that into 9 episodes.
Yeah, and Band of Brothers is on Netflix Max, and that seems to be about it. So
yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'm in a World War II mood.
If you really want, go ahead and buy the Blu-rays, man. They're worth it.
I never get tired of World War II content, like a game, a movie, a
Awesome.
show. Like,
No, man,
I'm
it's
just like,
it's
I'll watch
no,
it.
it's fun shit, man. It's fun shit. I
It's
do
a
love.
Time period.
I do love the. I remember it may have been on the History Channel, but it was like weird weapons of World War II. I fucking love that show. It was so awesome.
There is a book that came out probably about 15 years ago that was based off of Something Awful's their My Tank is Fight thing, and it was essentially the bizarre ass fucking weapons the Reich was trying to develop. So
Oh wow.
that's a fun little ditty of a book, like their weird death rays and things like that.
Yeah,
Send me a link to that, Kendo.
I remember the US's ones. They had like the earthquake bomb. They had like the dam buster. A bunch of fun ones that they were like trying to. I remember even like they were trying to do the one with the bats that test went horribly wrong. Yeah.
Oh, TLJ Screwjob, thank you. Xavier to God has 2 in a row. He says, Jeff, Sparking Zero, Dragon Ball Z, is Budokai Tenkaichi 4 in
Budokai.
The series is called Sparking, but in America they changed the name to Budokai Tenkaichi. Sparking Zero is all heirs of Dragon Ball in the game. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Now I kind of want this game, Xavier to God, because I just was getting into, was it Fighter Z? Yeah, that's the one I have. And that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I if it's all eras and I can just play as like regular to Super Saiyan 2 Goku, I'm on board. I don't need all that bullshit. God, Super Saiyan 5, 10, pink, black. That is Goku black. That's a thing. Xavier to God, I guess I'll have to if it hits Game Pass early, I'll play it right away. But we'll stream it. We'll have some fun. I'm okay at fighting games. Maybe Dion and I will play some Dragon Ball Z fighting games and talk shit to each other over some beers. How's that, Dion?
I like it, man.
Yeah, Bulma ain't shit, man. Fuck you, Vegeta. And the horse you rode in on. TLJ Screwjob. I don't even know what that means. TLJ Screwjob says the Coven of Spikes birthing twins in the Acolyte reminds me of the roast of William Shatner. Andy Dick was the butt of the baby of Kirk and Spock. He was the butt baby of Kirk and Spock. Cock. Is Andy Dick still alive?
Yes, he is still alive somehow.
Mhm.
Good. Good.
And occasionally
like
getting in trouble on the fucking internet. Like people will randomly be filming and it'll be a fucked up looking Andy Dick doing something goofy.
He's almost 60.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Andy Dick is almost 60.
A couple years ago, he got some dude filmed himself beating him up.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Oh
sad.
wow, there was an article from December 2023. He failed to issued after failing to register as an SA offender.
Ooh.
Fun.
Ooh.
Fun.
Let's move on from that guy.
Yeah, really.
I'm talking about him.
John Thomas, are lightsaber hilts really shaped kind of sort of like dildy-dos?
Dilly.
Well, your lightsaber is supposed to be an extension of yourself. So take that how you will. You know what I mean?
So then they're women with extensions of themselves.
Wait,
I mean,
no, there's no Darth Maul double-sided lightsabers, so that'll be an extension of them.
What about Ray's double dong lightsaber?
You know some listener, right? Like that was somebody's name?
What?
Oh yeah, there was Ray's double dong lightsaber was a
Oh yeah.
fucking listener.
I thought that was like a listener name.
Oh
That
my
and
God.
Darth Vader's Charred Phallus. I mean, I know who it was, but
Yes,
Rested
yeah.
rip to both of them.
yeah, R.I.P. to those fine fellows.
Yeah,
John Thomas, there might be subliminal like, hey, we're making the lightsaber look like a dick because that's funny. Like, I mean, I'm not mad. I think it's like a dumb thing to do. Like, are you antagonizing people or are you trying to be funny and subversive? Because
Dick jokes have a place. I don't think they have a place in Star Wars.
yeah, Star Wars is kind of like you're making shit about the Jedi. It's got to be buttoned up and like sanitized anyway because the Jedi are boring. I don't like prequel Jedi. They
don't strike me as the type that would walk around making dick jokes with each other. I mean, Anakin might have, but Obi-Wan
That's why
was
he didn't. That's why they wouldn't put him on the council because he wouldn't stop making dick jokes about Mace Windu. And
Or talk about Count Dooku's bent shaft.
Yeah.
That was Qui-Gon.
Oh,
Obi-Wan
Qui-Gon
was
was a dick joke. You know, that's why he's dead. They actually
That's
hired
why
Darth Maul
he's
to shut him up. The whole thing is a plot. The Jedi hired Palpatine to shut up Qui-Gon, but then Palpatine got a little ahead of himself. So he's like, it's easy to kill a Jedi. I'm going to keep doing it.
Because Qui-Gon was making dick jokes, and they could feel the hurt through the Force.
Yeah. Qui-Gon won't stop talking about cocks. We need to take him out.
Oh, thank you, John Thomas. That was a fun moment. Tim Riggs says, I love you, Dion, but I would have preferred to face fuck a Rancor than watch that.
God.
There was a higher chance that you would have gotten actual pleasure out of that a hell of a lot more than you would watching the Acolyte. So I don't blame you.
Damn,
Yep.
if Dion's saying that, you know it's bad.
Enrique Vasquez has a question. Says, she's a lesbian. How do we know she did not partake?
We will not. That's conjecture, sir. We will not entertain nor speculate on that because of legal reasons.
I feel like we should save that for Dunkcast.
Yes.
Sure. The Leslie Headland edition of Dunkcast coming next week, folks.
Let's do it.
We'll talk about it, and then we'll put it on Rumble. Xavier to God says, Jeff, after the Boo saga, Goku did spend 10 years with his family before the end of Z to go train Oob for 5 years. Also, Super took place in that 10 years. Okay, so it took place. So Dragon Ball Z Super is a prequel to Dragon Ball Z? Okay. I tried watching Dragon Ball Super, and I turned it off because I'm going to watch it with a friend.
All incredibly confusing.
Here's the thing. I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is like an abridged version, but the narrator just goes, and 10 years have passed, and Goku is going to train for this tournament. And so for an episode and a half, he's at a tournament, and he is letting this kid beat him up because he's trying to get him mad to see that he's so powerful, and then they just go off. Never mind. Xavier to God, thank you. That is clarifying all the shit in the timeline. But
I'm glad you're excited about it.
Yeah. TLJ Screwjob, thank you. Can't get over the twin. Oh, yeah, we already did read that one about the twins and the Shaggy defense. Thank you, TLJ Screwjob. It also says, not fan fiction. That would mean they cared. Well, no one cares about the Acolyte because the Acolyte doesn't care about fans. Dion, it's going to be interesting to hear how quickly you fall asleep in episode 3, my friend.
We'll see,
there's
man.
a hard limit to martial arts that what they can do for us in a shitty show.
Yeah, dude.
It's
just
friends, you got to remember out there, if you've never seen a classic martial arts film, some of them are terrible.
What the hell are you doing with your life?
Yes, what are you doing, first off? You need to watch those. But some of these movies are fun to watch, even if they're a little schlocky, and then they have bitchin' fight scenes. Like Star Wars, the fight scenes aren't memorable, and then they just are underscored. They underscore a crappy show. So balance it out, Lucasfilm. Just give us all martial arts. The finale should just be Squid Game fucking taking down an army of robots or something. Oh, the Trade Federation look like pirates now, guys. So remember how they were Japanese stereotypes when George Lucas made them? Now they're just pirates with generic voices.
Okay.
They sound like me.
Space pirates.
Pirates. John Thomas, thank you very much. He says, supposedly, Headless wrote this as a self-insert about her lousy relationship with her own sister. Yeah, I had heard about that.
I can fucking believe that.
Yeah, why is this a venting session for that? I don't know. We'll never know.
The tweet you sent a few days ago is saying that it was her, it's her therapy session, basically.
That's what I felt when watching the show. Let's see. Tim Riggs, thank you very much. He says, excuse me, I'll be trying to introduce those who like this to the concept of caliber in a way that would limit them from participating and collecting for the next decade plus.
So he's talking about big caliber. Nice.
I think our friend Go Big Board or Go Home understands that as well. Thank you, Tim, for being a member as well as the super chat. Looking forward to seeing you at Horror Hound. Folks, we'll be there in 3 months, so join us then. Snell's World, thank you. Lucasfilm acts like the OG Star Wars fans consider Disney Star Wars canon. No. I'm back at the place where I just don't watch Star Wars anymore, folks. There was the time where I was like, oh, I hate these Disney ones, but hey, the original one still hits. Now I'm just like, I will watch literally anything else. Watch old wrestling, Perry Mason reruns, golf. Actually, I don't watch golf. That's a lie. Snell's World, we just liked, me personally, I just like that original trilogy. I don't not acknowledge the prequels, but I'm okay with just I'm just okay with the original film. I know, I'm crazy. So, Georgian, thank you very much. Don't forget the World War II weapons like the Schwer Gustav, the punch gun, and the German Wunderwaffe, a wonder weapon portfolio, a rabbit hole time waster.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, them Germans were always up to weird shit.
I got an idea for a story. I'm going to take a picture of this super chat. What is happening with the numbers? We went from 330 to 190 back to 315. So I don't know, but just
I blame YouTube.
We're competing with the NBA Finals. I think we're doing a great job.
Oh,
Yeah.
the AEW defense.
Oh yeah, AEW fans, they're all here.
Basketball's on this week. That's why our numbers are down. Basketball's on Thursday. You were on Wednesday. It doesn't matter. That's why they had their press secretary, Dave Meltzer, run interference for them.
A friend, Go Big Boar, Go Home. Thank you very much. I'm sorry to hear about your rough week, but Go Big Boar, Go Home has a gift for everyone out there. He says, I've had a rough couple of weeks. Can I request a Jam Ram button?
Jam Ram! Jam Ram!
And one more.
Jam Ram!
For those that cannot get enough jamming, especially
man. Do you need your Ram jammed? Well, Ram's here to jam your Ram. And he's ramming his jam right into you.
He's the rammingest, jammingest guy on this side of the galaxy.
And God damn it, he's the coolest too. Now, if he shows up on the Acolyte, this is my favorite Star Wars show. If Ram Jamaram, if he's the fucking, he's the Jar Jar of the story. It's all about him. It's like poetry. It rhymes. If Ram Jamaram is in this show, I will blindly buy every Acolyte toy. I will celebrate this show. I will walk down the streets. The Acolyte is great. I'll go to a highway overpass and scream at cars and semi-trucks. Why the fuck not?
Oh, my God.
I'd get on board with Ram Jamaram in this show.
I know, right? It's just the greatest Star Wars character that ever was.
I take back everything I've said about the show without having watched it. I am now 100% invested.
Rebels Await. Thank you. He says, remember that Jack Kirby was on D-Day 80 years ago. I know Jack Kirby fought in the war, man. A lot of those comic book guys went off to the war, and luckily a lot of them made it back. You know, we can list a couple that passed away, but majority of those guys, like Stan Lee, went over. I know he was in a different department, but I believe Kirby was like a fighter. Well, yeah, he was in D-Day. But yeah, Jack Kirby was like the all-time great. He was like there's a story, Dion, they tell about how the mob would have a towel service, and it was like a racket to, I guess, enforce protection. And they went up there one day to kind of like tussle them up to get some money. And Jack Kirby just like got in their face, and they never came back. So he even scared off the mob. I thought that was a good story.
Oh yeah, dude. Jack Kirby, man.
Folks,
one cool cat.
Look, this is my Marvel shelf. You got Captain America, a Jack Kirby creation. You got the Hulk, Jack Kirby. Iron Man, technically Larry Lieber, but Jack Kirby also was drawing it. You know, it is what it is. It's kind of a gray area. But you can't have modern Marvel or superhero entertainment, even at DC level. Like, you can't have Zack Snyder's Justice League without Jack Kirby, because he created Darkseid and all that boom tube shit that you all like in that movie. That's a Jack Kirby creation. So remember, folks, Disney will not give Jack Kirby credit because it makes basically, here's the story. Copyright stuff at Marvel is a little fishy. Now all those people are dead, so they'll talk about it more. But they kind of got away with some shit. So look into it. It's very interesting how Marvel got creators to sign over their rights. They put it on the back of their paycheck. And if they didn't sign it, well, they didn't get paid. So they had to sign it. So
that is the most Disney shady bullshit I've ever heard in my life. I swear to God.
Right up your alley.
Pre-Disney. This is how it went down.
Pre-Disney. Oh my God.
Yeah, like I know we like
the idea.
I know a lot of people like to look back on Marvel. It's like, oh man, the 60s Marvel, and it was great and this and that. those guys got hosed financially. Like maybe one or two of them got taken care of overall, but they had to just work till they were 90. So like Jack Kirby had a lot of problems. It sucked that what happened to him. So I'm not going to spend any more time on negativity with comic books. We love comics. We're here to celebrate them. WokebustersComic.com. Enrique Vasquez says, damn, in TIL, the Trade Federation were based on the Japanese. I knew they were Asian, but didn't know which ones. It's starting to make sense. Yeah, I didn't really think about any of these as stereotypes until I watched the Red Letter Media video like in 2009. Then I was like, oh, I guess these are stereotype racial characters. But like as a kid and then as an adult, well, as a late teen watching them, I'm like, they're just dumb. I never once thought they were racist.
Yeah, they're just creatures, and like that's all it is. They're just aliens. That's all we know they are. So
same with Jar Jar. I never once thought he was like a Rastafarian black insert character. I just was like, he's just annoying.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of like when folks, I understand we like to think we're smarter because we live in 2024, but like society, can you stop trying to use the modern lens to look back on stuff? Because there's nothing you can really add to it except break it down, try to deconstruct it. You just fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because then you look for problems. Like, let's look at the problems of today. Like, people are offended over Eminem. We'll talk about that in a minute. It was the lightest shit he's ever said on a song. I can't believe that people are offended by this fucking thing. God damn. Anyway, go big boar, go home. Then we're all caught up, folks. Thank you for all the love and support. We appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are here with us each and every Thursday. Go big boar, go home says, I would pay good money to see Zack Snyder remake Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Oh my God, no. No, we cannot have that. No.
We need it.
I want it. I'm sorry, Nick. I know you're against it. I support it. Who votes for it? Put your finger up.
Oh my God. Oh, jeez.
Come on, Kendo.
That's
Dion supporting it.
Yep.
Then I'll put up two fingers because I can vote twice. Sorry.
The game's rigged, man.
Jeff's got two IDs.
I'll never tell.
Sorry.
What a weird thing to have. It's like, yes, my name is Jeff.
Javier Bardeen Morgan.
Diego Hicks.
Yeah.
Diego Hicks has got a little fake mustache.
That
would be great. That would be great.
Yeah, there'll be too many slow motion scenes. So, guys, obviously it's June. It's hot out. Companies like to partake.
Yes, it's hot out. Yeah, it's June. Yes. You're right. Yeah, it's hot out.
But companies like to partake in the same thing every year. Now, unlike other channels, we're not going to spend hours trying to make jokes about that. What we're going to do is we're going to read you direct quotes from the lady who is in charge of this Star Wars garbage, the Acolyte, because according to her, the Acolyte is the gayest show ever. It's the gayest Star Wars possible. Now,
from
Dion,
the
you and I
90s slang and vernacular, I would agree with her.
Yeah, in the 90s form, yes, it's the gayest Star Wars ever. But I don't get what they mean by it's the gayest Star Wars ever. Do you, Dion? Like, the characters are Jedi, which mean they don't have emotional attachments or relationships, so they're asexual. There's like no other characters we're interacting with, and like, what's gay about the show? Can you tell me what that means?
I mean, it's her saying that just means right now it's topical as fuck, which is a way to sell properties now, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I mean, outside of it being, you had the one mention of the two moms or whatever. I'm sure there's going to be other things as the show goes on. That's for damn sure. But yeah, they just, this is that mindset of, everybody on that side of the fence is going to be able to relate to this because of random insert emotional thing here. So yeah, I am not surprised at all that's how some folks attached to it are trying to are describing the show. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, they got to be topical. They want to be known as the show that's for everybody, right? So yeah, that them calling it the gayest thing ever. I'm trying to get a little dig at the internet is also the other side of it.
it gets better. The black girl on screen says nerds are gay. And then I guess gay is a pejorative because here's the thing, like everyone's okay with gay people, but then you're saying nerds are gay, but if they're not all gay, then what are you trying to say? So I'm confused there. But they also go on to say that R2D2 is a lesbian and C3PO is gay. R2D2 is a dude. Like
R2D2 is also a fucking robot.
Yeah. So,
but I'm pretty sure everybody that watches Star Wars has called C3PO gay since time immemorial. So let's not put that cart in front of the horse here.
No, but notice my response was, I didn't think R2D2 was a woman.
I didn't think R2D2 was anything. I thought he was a fucking robot. He's an android.
I feel like they've referred to him though as a guy, like little guy or something like that. Like
Skywalker. It's just a weird conversation to have. You know, I'm sure that there are circles, especially on the internet, that talk about that shit. Yeah, it's just, you know, everyone trying to self-insert something into every character as if that was somehow where George Lucas's mind was in the 70s, you know. So whatever. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's just very weird.
I'm laughing at this whole situation because you're trying to sell a show, but like this is the worst way possible to sell it. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm enjoying is here they are, folks. Like here's Disney. They're coming out with their new show. They're really excited about it. The audience doesn't care. Now we're here. That's it. That's all she wrote. It's
right.
Funny.
And I would have a legitimate question, and I don't mean this in a negative way whatsoever, but if you're out there and you're listening, and you might not be, and you are actually gay and you're not a Star Wars fan, and they come out and say, Star Wars, this show is like super gay and these characters are like super duper gay, is that automatically going to make you go, you know what, I ought to check this Star Wars thing out and buy some t-shirts?
How do you not know what Star Wars is at this point? Honestly,
I know that people are aware of it.
Hey.
But the thing is, that doesn't mean everybody's a fan of it. So that's what I'm saying is like, is that automatically going to entice everybody? Like, if I'm a gay dude and I've got, you know, insurance company A for my car, but insurance company B puts out a rainbow icon on their Twitter, is that going to make me want to switch insurance companies? Like, am I going to want to now get into Star Wars all because some director person came out and said, oh yeah, these robots are gay and this show is totally gay? That's what I'm curious. Is like, is that really a profitable like selling point that actually works?
Yeah. I mean, you know, there are, you know, certain products are marketed to certain different demographics, right? I mean, especially when, you know, when RuPaul's Drag Race was a white hot property, right? Absolute was a major sponsor for them, and people tended to associate Absolute with that thing, with you know, with gay people automatically, right? So I get that mindset. Certain products are marketed specifically to certain demographics. I get all that. But Star Wars is just not that. It's just not that. Like, it's just so weird. Like Star Wars isn't RuPaul's Drag Race. Star Wars isn't Absolute Vodka. You know, it's this worldwide phenomenon where it was automatically built for everyone to try to insert themselves into it. And don't get me wrong, I get it. It was the 70s. We're not saying there aren't a lot of Caucasians in the. I get it. Like, yes, okay.
It's made in England.
Yeah, it's like the overcorrection, and they just keep doing it. It's like, I get it. I get it. But it's I'm not interested now.
Well, thank you, though. You made an excellent point.
Can
you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Release him, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I was like, God damn it! What happened?
Control us anymore.
What happened? There we go.
It just kept your feed. We can hear you still.
Okay. Well,
anyway,
yeah,
it's just
the overcorrection that you brought up earlier about this overcorrection bullshit. I'm glad. That's kind of what society is. It's like it's trying to overcorrect for something, and we don't need to overcorrect for it. What we need to do is we need to just move on from the point where everything had been corrected and just go on. Like, if you had Oscar Isaac and Daisy Ridley and John Boyega play your leads in Star Wars, and you didn't draw attention to the first black stormtrooper, no one gave a shit. It's a bunch of faceless bad guys. Like, that's not a first, because they could have all been black. Who knows? They're people.
Right.
Do we ever see a stormtrooper take off their armor in Return of the Jedi? Do we see that? I just thought we saw the officers. Like, we never see a stormtrooper without their clothes on. They could all be black. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. But like, overcorrecting, and all it does is it like bothers me, because I go, I really don't want a talking to from some faceless goober from an entertainment company. Like, I'm here to spend money and watch something. Don't piss me off too. You're not going to teach me. This isn't a teachable moment. This is, I paid money, entertain me. Now, I don't want to be not challenged. I'm not trying to say I want a product that is bereft of a message or anything deeper. What I'm trying to tell you is, don't try to make it a modern day political message, because everybody has their own beliefs. Make a universal story. If there happens to be allegory to political things, sure, but make them to something that's relevant to the story. You know, George Lucas isn't trying to make everything is the first Star Wars movie about like anything super political of the 70s? Is it like, is the secret message from the Death Star like a Watergate reference? I don't think so. So let's stop trying to do that shit nowadays. Like, it's a fucking movie. Just watch it. You know? Oh man, a Super Mario game came out. What's the meaning behind it? It's a Super Mario game and Nintendo wants money. Oh, there's a movie. How deep can we talk about it? No, it's just a fucking movie and people like it, and people try to tear it apart because it was basic, but it's just a movie. That's what we need, is more shit that's just like that. Let's not try to slay any more dragons, Hollywood. Let's not try to move a needle for something, because you just turn us off. We're making fun of it because you're trying to course correct. Like,
yeah.
What else is there to say?
It's at this point, it's just comical, right? It's, and the other funny part about it is, right, like, so now we have the Acolyte, and the main character is the black girl from the Hunger Games, right? And she's got a twin sister, and it's gonna be this whole da-da-da. Like, yo, you can't retroactively make up for fucking over John Boyega, because when all this shit started in 2015, you had your chance, and then you chickened out. So now, not only are you over course correcting for trying to save the world with a Star Wars show, but now you're over course correcting because you fucked up when you had a legitimate organic chance to be like, yeah, let's make One Hero Chocolate Thunder variety. You didn't do it. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. So doing it now with the show, here we are, freaking 9 years, almost a decade later, and they still can't make the thing that they want you to pay for interesting. And it's just so funny now. Like, here we are. You've got shoot, I just had his name in my head too. And I gotta look up you got the Japanese dude that's in this. You're wasting this talent, and it's just comical now. Just comical.
Yeah, it is. At no point is it like anything but that. I think a lot of people misconstrue our take on it as like we're angry. No, it's kind of funny and sad to me. I'm having the time of my life laughing at this shit. It's not. It's like when you have something damaging happen. It's like, oh, okay, that sucked, and then you move on. Like, I'm just having fun with Star Wars now. I can't wait to see what happens next week with the Acolyte Dion. Like, everyone says it's going to die after the 3rd episode. What could it be? I really do think it's going to be the Immaculate Force Birth 2.0.
Immaculate Force Birth.
Dude, I'll tell you this. If that's the case, the High Council is going to be nuts on Tuesday, folks. Remember, we're going live at 10 because we want to watch the Acolyte first. And we watch the numbers, folks. We know you are joining us a lot later, too. So have fun with us on Tuesday night as well. But thank you for joining us right now. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, they have been. Your Robo Bros have been made gay now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just so I can see it being the Immaculate Birth thing. I think they're gonna do some goofy, weird Grey's Anatomy level bullshit with the characters that's gonna officially jump the shark. It's who knows? It's almost like and people misconstruing our stuff for being mad. I stopped being mad after the Rise of Skywalker because it's just so funny. I'm not mad. I was mad after The Force Awakens. Obviously mad after the Last Jedi for damn sure. But you had Lucasfilm had 3 blockbuster chances to make a good Star Wars film, and they missed 3 times. You don't get mad at the kid with a concussion for stumbling around and falling. The motherfucker's concussed. Clearly, Lucasfilm is still concussed. I ain't mad at them for not being able to walk a straight line. They clearly are. They're concussed right now. I'm not mad anymore. I just keep watching and laughing. I just watch and laugh.
Yeah, we watch it so you don't have to, folks. Dion, we'll check back next week with our audience with the Acolyte. But before
I can't wait for you guys to watch it and read the chat where Dion's gonna be like, "Fuck this," and just be like, "Fuck it, I'm done." I can't wait for that to happen. Where he's like, "I can't do this anymore. I'm out." Because if the show breaks Dion, like that'll be fucking hilarious. Because you've held on. And like we don't want it to be good, but it's just like if it breaks Dion, I'm just gonna be really sad.
Listen, after watching these first 2 episodes, I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, it's I enjoy
that could occur.
It could. Those first 2 episodes were rough, dude. They were rough.
Yeah, dude. You guys direct each other in the chat. I was like, damn, this is
like. Here's the
bad.
fucked up part. Like, I took a nap to stay up to make sure I could watch it and do the high council later. So I'm just waking up, and that's the first thing I watch. And I'm pissed too. I'm just like, I woke up for this. Like, I could have been like, hey, I overslept everything. I just woke up on Wednesday morning happy. No, I woke up pissed off. That was a terrible decision. So, folks, I'll do it again next week, minus the nap. I'll just go to bed early. Elizabeth, I just want to tell you that joke was awesome. I'll read it in a moment, but I want to give a shout out to Shane, who says, "You guys are one of my most watched channels. You're like family to me at this point. Keep doing what you're doing." Well, Shane, thank you very much.
Thanks,
we
buddy.
love doing what we're doing, and we'll be
Shane.
here. Don't worry. Thank you, Shane. But Elizabeth Young, poor Dion having to suffer there through this shit. Now, I read that. Sorry. I had 2 drinks before the show at dinner. I thought she said, poor Dion having to suffer through this horse shit. I'm like, oh, that was an awesome joke, Elizabeth. You got him with a horse joke and a horse shit joke. My brain, I guess I'm always trying to burn you, buddy. I'm sorry. I do love you.
Listen, what are friends for? What are friends
I know,
for?
right? This is what we do. We go on riverboat gambling trips, make our own beef jerky, shit with the door open,
Absolutely.
and talk about pussy. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
And I still quote Step Brothers like, God damn, 15 years later.
15 years later, dog.
Yeah, it's hard to think when you think about all these movies you love. It's like they're like decades old. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah, talk about feeling old.
Role Models popped up today on my Netflix feed, and I went, oh man, I love Role Models. 2008. I'm like,
oh
oof.
my God.
That's enough to ruin your day.
I know 16 years ago, I'm like in college, like freshman year, like, yeah, let's go see some fucking movies. And then, now we're here. Actually, I can't really follow up that joke with like some sadness. I'm happy. We got this. We get to hang out. We're going to Japan, and they got comic books and shit. Life's awesome. I ain't bitching.
Exactly.
Thank you, though, folks. Tim Riggs sends in a message, and then we're going to start talking about Eminem in this soft society. Tim, thank you again for everything. He says, there are good reasons profit that, as an example, Target canceled the vast quantity of their Pride collection. I didn't
heard about
hear
that.
about it this year, right? They didn't.
They didn't go as hard in the paint this year.
Nope.
Yeah, because they saw apparently a lot of people just didn't want to shop at Target.
$1 billion market cap was lost, right?
Yeah,
It was there was a B involved. That's for damn sure.
I mean, you can't get it. You're a company. You got to be as cut and dry right down the middle. If you're as ubiquitous as Target, you appeal to everybody. That's just it,
Yeah. There was and it was just kind of funny to see, because when people were protesting that stuff, they were destroying things. They just kind of didn't want to shop at Target. That's what happened. Their bottom line was affected.
Yep. But thank you, Tim, for your super chat. Now, guys, I'm going to pull up a picture of Eminem. Now, folks, we don't talk a lot about music. Maybe we should expand to it a little bit. I didn't hear your thoughts on any of the, was it Drake and all that shit, the beef he had. I don't care.
Him and Kendrick Lamar, I think, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't sound like some old guy, but I just don't give a shit about any of this stuff. Like, it is what it is. I used to like Eminem back in the day. We were all Eminem. We were all aware of Eminem, correct?
Oh yeah.
I've just come to the conclusion that shit like that is made for, young motherfuckers in their early 20s. So, back then, back then I may have cared about that. I went out to the bar, I hanged out with my homies, when we were beating the drum for whatever event, we was playing popular music, so
yeah.
But I'm married and I got a fucking kid, what I'm saying? Like, I just don't have time to care about that shit. So, but I'm sure that a lot of people who are in college, of college age, whatever, that shit was interesting, So hey, we had Kim Kardashian marrying Chris Humphries. So we've had our share of
we also had her sucking dick on camera. That's how we all
there was that, and it was Ray J of all people.
Yeah. Hey, folks, tonight's
hilarious.
episode is not brought to you by Raycons at all.
No, right? Not yet.
No, but you can go to Kickstarter, type in Wokebusters, type in the code, and get yourself a great comic book. There's your plug.
There you go.
Now,
there you go.
I loved Eminem as a kid. Like, honestly, when you talk about motherfuckers in the early 20s, like, I was an early teenager when he was kind of at his peak, and I just thought it was so cool to listen to Eminem and shit. I was like, oh, man, I got the CDs, and I listened to them, and I liked them, and I didn't, like, I don't know. I listened to it, and then it just ended there. I didn't really pick up anything else from it. I didn't try to dress like that shit. Anyway, I liked Eminem, and so I have heard rumblings of people being offended by this new Eminem song, Houdini. Now, I'm used to Eminem talking about taking his ex-wife, beating her up, putting her in a trunk, like drowning. Like, there's a song called Kim that's just, he doesn't even rap.
Yeah,
he just beats her up.
It's and like people have been saying that it's like if this generation thinks that this is offensive, they haven't discovered Kim yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the chorus, so long, bitch, you did me so wrong. I don't want to go on living in this world without you. Yeah, I know the song. I've listened to it. I thought it was funny as a kid. You're like, what is this? Because, you get the CD for the Real Slim Shady and Stan and The Way I Am. And you're like, oh, man, there's like 15 other songs. Let's see what they're like. And you listen to them and you're like, some of them are great. Some of them are forgettable. And some of them are just really fucking crazy to be really fucking crazy. And you're right. If people today think the shit he said about Megan, here's the thing. I got an article pulled up, okay? People are offended at the Megan Thee Stallion line. Like,
I read the lyrics. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything in it.
So, Eminem drew the ire of the internet over the weekend after releasing a new single that refers to the rapper Tory Lanez's shooting of Megan Thee Stallion in the foot in 2020. Here's the quote from Eminem. If I was to ask for Megan Thee Stallion if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at a feat? Eminem raps in the first minute of Houdini. And that's it. Like, people on Twitter are getting offended. Somebody goes, being 51 years old and taking shots at Megan Thee Stallion, out of touch. One user posted on X. Another user condemned the line. Nothing that June is Black Music Month is too much to ask for that we enter Black Music Month in a few days that folks don't allow Eminem to make light of Megan. A BW who was a victim of gun violence to be targeted in a song by a white rapper.
God,
are too comfortable.
Hold on.
Into it there, people.
Hold on. 50 Cent is also also had gun violence as well. I'm just saying tell
him, bro.
The entire promotion for his first album was the fact that he'd been shot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was essentially, I got shot 9 times by my album. That was fucking.
Yes, exactly.
Tell him.
Selling point.
Exactly.
Listen, and let's make it very clear. Obviously, this is for the people in the audience who may not be WCBS fans, you know, the chat, they all know where I'm going with this shit. But for those of you who are too young to remember, that's all this is. We've talked about it on the show multiple times. This is why we laugh at Twitter, right? Because that's funny to us. For those of us in our 30s, especially those of us who were kids when Eminem was, pun intended, white hot, that's hip hop. That's rap. Something popular happens that people know about, and the point is to have a lyric that kind of twists the knife a little bit. People don't get me mad. Don't get me wrong. Like, if we're talking about in the pantheon of what you should be rapping about, technically, you know, a woman who got shot at by a crazy dude who ended up going to jail for it, like, that's a little faux pas. But if you're a rapper, the rappers that we grew up with,
dude,
that was light work, son. That was light work. Yeah,
you're like, kids, have you heard of NWA?
NWA, that was their whole thing. You had rap used to be at a place where Charlton Heston was making a speech at the NRA reading Ice-T lyrics.
Yep. I know that song
on shit that I can't say on YouTube.
No,
like, that's what we fucking grew up with. Just talking about the song Kim, motherfucker. Every album he would have 2 or 3 songs where he would take a shot at his baby mama. When he does a feature on 2001 Dre's album where he's like, listen, man, I want you to know that I love you, but if I was ever gonna go kill my baby mama, and like that was part of his feature on a Dre song. That's what we grew up with. So that's why Twitter, we don't take you seriously, because this shit it's been going on already for 25 years. It being hip hop itself is 50 years old. Motherfuckers would be in early raps talking about politicians getting caught with hookers and stuff. This ain't new.
No,
dude.
That's hip hop. That's rap.
Dude,
no. Dude,
get tougher skin, kid. That's all I got. That's all I can think of. Get tougher fucking skin,
he has a line where he goes, "Hey, it's me, Versace. Whoops, somebody shot me. I was just checking the mail. Get it? Checking the mail." This is nothing. Like, this is the dumbest crap. Oh, I got shot in the foot. So I didn't even know Megan Thee Stallion got shot in the foot. That's how big of a story it was to me. I know who she is. She's twerking with She-Hulk. I know that she's okay enough to do that. So I'm supposed to feel sorry for her that she got shot in the foot. Okay, fine. It sucks that you got shot in the foot, but we can all joke about it now. We
can all agree. You should not be shooting at the feet of a chick you might have been fucking. Like, that's not no one's saying that that's okay. But people getting all worked up on behalf of Megan Thee Stallion and how Eminem fucking is taking shots at her. Her name is an implication of the fact of how she fucks. That's hip hop. Y'all getting all mad. Her name is Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion, like she's a surprise. It's like, yo, like, you know, Megan Thee Stallion. That's a hip hop thing. So the fuck what? He made it's Eminem. That's what he did. You brought up 50 Cent. On the album that he came out with, Get Rich or Die Trying, which is considered one of the greatest rap albums of all time, he has an entire skit where he's insinuating that Ja Rule is gay and bangs transvestites. Like, that's on the album.
Murder.
Jeffrey Askins ain't hurt nobody. That's on his album that he won a Grammy for. So people getting upset about Megan Thee Stallion. Give me a break, kid. Get thicker skin. Don't sit the fuck down while grown folks are having a conversation about this shit.
Yeah. Well, and Dion, do you remember the BET Awards back in the day?
Yo, shit was always happening at the BET Awards.
Do they even have the BET Awards anymore?
Somebody was about to get shot or got shot at the BET Awards. Yeah, it was a fucking theme every
year. Who got shot this year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The year that Lil' Kim showed up in what was barely clothes, she had like silver pants, a couple chains, and something covering the nipples. That was what Lil' Kim was showing up to the BET Awards.
Yep.
Is she still alive?
She looks way different.
She's in jail though.
Oh, she's in jail. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, she went to jail. Jesus. But also, like, what was it? Real Slim Shady. That video, he pissed everybody off. He was taking shots at the boy bands, at the
Yep.
Britney Spears,
Carson
Daly, and Fred Durst.
Everybody, dude, everybody. He pissed off, and mind you, the people he was taking shots at were really fucking popular, and he didn't give a shit. And mind you, this was during the heyday of music videos on TRL, where at like 3:30 it would start. Every kid would fucking go watch it the time. That's how it would be. And everybody was waiting for the fucking Eminem music video to drop. They'd always have this thing. It's like, oh, it's dropping, Monday this time, Tuesday, whatever. They'd always be like, it's dropping on TRL. They would always do that shit, and they were waiting for it. He pissed off so many people. That's his shtick. That's what he does.
They should have heard what he said about Moby.
You get stomped by Obi?
Yep.
I'm not gonna say the rest about being a 36-year-old bald-headed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like
it was funny back then.
It was funny. It's still funny now. Like these
oh yeah,
these little,
I ain't gonna lie.
These bib wearing little kids on Twitter can't take that shit, and I get it, right? Like you say something super virtuous on Twitter and it gets retweets and all that stuff, or on X, and it gets a bunch of re-X's or whatever. That's that's cool, y'all. That's cool, but we could talk about shit that just Eminem has said all night for the rest of the night.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, because he would get snubbed for not winning awards. He'd call it bullshit because he was the new white rapper on the scene and everything. All kinds of shit happened, man. It was crazy, but he was pissing off everybody with videos and lyrics and all that stuff.
And he was fun to watch too because he was funny. Like every
100%
time he was on a TV show. Like that's the thing too. I liked rap videos at a certain age, yes, because you're a certain age, but they were always funny rap videos. Like they would randomly fly around the screen, or like in the area codes videos, they would literally skeet shoot women out of the sky, skeet shoot a hoe today. Like the shit was like really funny. All of them were comedy based, and Eminem's were the best because you watched these videos like. Most of the people here were either too old for this shit or weren't alive for it. But like, you had all the crappy boy bands who like danced in front of like wind machines.
Oh my god, that
and
bullshit!
You had the girls who danced in front of the wind machines and they lip synced and shit. And their videos were all lame and repetitive. And then you had like these like soft rock groups who were trying to be hard. And you're just like, what is this? And then Eminem comes on. He's like, fuck everybody and fuck them like 12 ways. And then he makes a video that is just really funny and memorable. And it was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Even if the rap isn't great, or even if you look back on it and you're just like, oh, this is, whatever. But it was funny and fun. And like this video and everything about it was very fun. And the music was cool. I thought the song was good. So I'm happy with it. Like, good for you, Eminem. Piss off the next generation.
Yeah, and mind you, that is like, once again, that is tame. That is tame. He just mentions it. That's it.
Now you're sitting in the corner crying, P-dubs. It's not my fault. I know all these songs, dude. Like, I think I listened to that CD and played Tony. Well, no, I listened to the music in Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Tony Hawk.
Yeah, and the to that point too, like early Eminem was one thing, and then obviously by the time we were in college, he was coming out with shit like Crack a Bottle, where it was him talking about how him and his rich friends drink and do drugs and fuck and drive around and fuck chicks like that, So he was doing that shit consistently.
Didn't he have another band called
that came out in 2010, 2009? We were in college when that came out.
Didn't he have another band called like D12?
Oh, D12, yeah.
Yeah, D12,
They got songs about taking pills.
Yep, I remember that song. I remember that fucking video.
Purple Pills, yeah. Like, this is part of the course. And, and again, for people who are too young to remember, right? Like, Nick brought up the thing of, the thing when we were kids, he's this white rapper and he's getting all this attention because he's white, blah, 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 But that kind of went away because he was that good at rap. And he rolled around with Dr. Dre and eventually 50 Cent and G Unit and D12 when he had his own group and all this other shit. Like back in the day, you said stuff and hip hop was the scene where if you got a problem with it, come up and say something to me. Just remember, I got a gang of 10 motherfuckers with me who might disagree with you, and you know, that those days are not something that Twitter enjoys. But you know, people said they talked about this already with Eminem, and they just moved on. You know, it's like Twitter. You know, hey, they tried this shit already. Get thicker skin, kid.
That's true. Also, if you're born from like, let's say 97 and on, look up the CD cover for Dre 2001.
Oh yeah.
Look up that CD cover and tell me they would never be able to make that fucking cover again ever.
Yeah,
like get over yourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
When that CD came out, it was right in the beginning of like people having CD burners at home. So I remember getting a copy of those from people at school, like, hey, can you burn me a copy? So I had access to that stuff.
I made so much money doing that in high school.
It was like cool. You're like, oh man, I got this. And you know, it has like a different name written on the front. Like, who would have been a band back then that wasn't shitty? Was Matchbox 20 ever good?
No.
Yeah, they had a little window, I guess.
They weren't embarrassing in 99. So your CD would say Matchbox 20, but it was the Chronic 2001 or something. It was cool. Like, it was just like, it was something you shouldn't have. You know what that's like. I don't think we have that anymore because with the internet, you have access to everything. It's just like, oh, okay. You know, you can just find it. It's not really a big deal to sneak onto a computer anymore. You're just like, whatever. But yeah, it was cool. But go back and watch this video if you guys haven't seen it, folks. I think you'd like it. It's got all the Eminem callbacks. It was fun. I put it on the TV and made a thing out of it. So I hope we find out that this is like a super offensive album and people just melt down constantly because I would have fun with this.
Oh my god, I want little kids crying, making videos about this on TikTok, be like, oh my god, why is he so mean to everybody? It's like, listen, kids,
it's funny.
Get off your goddamn Discord server and go to the playground and go touch grass or something, right? Get the fuck out.
Talk to other people.
Or, you know, talk to some people who talk a little wild, like Eminem. You know, go hang out with some people that, you know, when the sun goes in, I don't hang out with that dude that often. You know, like it's okay. It's okay to not do something that's, you know, pristine and loves everybody all the time. Like, come on. You know, a lot of people on Twitter, you know, no matter what side of the aisle they're on, you gotta grow a little hair on your chest. You know what I'm saying? Drink something that stings a little bit when it goes down. And, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, hip hop is not infallible, right? Like, no one's saying that you should, you know, listen to it in church. No one's saying that at all.
I am.
There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that hip hop has got to change going into the future, right? Like, you know, we all get it, man. No one's saying hip hop is perfect, but talking about things that just happened, that's hip hop. Everybody loves a little gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I do know what you're saying. What I really want to know though is how do you feel about what Tim Riggs is saying on screen? Chronic 2001 is one of, if not the greatest albums ever created, and I hate rap and hip hop.
Oh,
I put it up there. 2001 easily. I mean, obviously the Chronic is, you know, the original Chronic is still probably a little bit better, but yeah, I 100% have zero problem. 2001 is definitely up there, man. It is up there. There's some bangers on that album. Multiple bangers.
Definitely.
I have to go back and listen to it.
Oh, it's hitting the playlist, especially during the summertime, man. Everyone, I don't, you know, listen to it all the way through all the time, but Manny hits off the 2001 on my playlist.
I can't do the next episode too often. I don't dislike the
I
song.
love that song.
I like the song just fine. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I don't really want to hear it very often. Or Still Dre. Like, they're good songs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not digging them at all. 0%. It's just the stuff on the first Chronic is just gotten more replay to me. I'd rather listen to that than that one because the music's more interesting to me. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I put it up.
I don't know what I consider the greatest album of all time. I'll give you the whitest answer possible. Tears for Fears, songs from the big chair. Dion, you and I went to saw them in concert.
You can't go Michael Jackson. Shit. You can't go Michael Jackson Thriller. Come on.
I mean, Thriller's the highest selling for a single artist, so I mean, you can't not give it. Look, if we're talking about like best and most important, I mean, those are two separate things. I think best.
Okay, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Thriller's the most important album ever. Not the Eagles' Greatest Hits Volume 1, 1973 to 1978.
Fuck
I think
Eagles.
that's what it's titled. No, but that's the number one actual selling album. That's the one that has.
How many people out there with no good taste in music.
Listen, you're saying that people who like Thriller have no good taste in music?
No, I'm talking about the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, you got to calm down. You got to watch The Big Lebowski more, Dion. Like,
I legit hate the Eagles regardless of The Big Lebowski.
I love how much you hate the Eagles because I had to be reminded that I liked the years ago. Hillary and I are doing something, and I was like, man, I just don't like the Eagles. She's like, you listen to Eagles stuff pretty regular. I was like, what? And she had to go like it was like 5 songs. I was like, damn. I guess I do like the Eagles.
Who the fuck are you? Get off my go. No,
listen, man. Sometimes when you got that liquid creature in you, you turn on Hotel California. You know what I'm saying,
bro? I have had many. Look, I have traveled to many different places. You know what I'm talking about. The Eagles never underscore my trip or journey in a good way. I never want to hear On a Cold Distant Highway. I don't want to ever hear Hotel California ever again. Like, I'll listen to Don Henley on his own. Like, Dirty Laundry is a good song. I'll listen to Glenn Fry. The Heat Is On is a good song.
See, that's a good song. I'll give you that.
Yeah. It's even better when it underscores a baseball team and their entire city rallies behind them. What team was that, Kendo, that used The Heat Is On?
The Cardinals?
There you go.
I think they lost that World Series, though.
We don't talk about it. Beverly Hills Cop is an achievement in cinema, and we will be you will be seeing some videos about Beverly Hills Cop in the nearest future. In the build-up to Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop 4. That's what I'm going to call it. Fuck it. I don't care. Living around house. Fuck it. People get money. They get crazy. They lose their mind. Dion, are you a fucking art critic?
Yeah. Who wants to live in just a donut?
You are correct. Beat It and Thriller are catchy. I say Beat It's Michael Jackson's best song. What do you say, guys? What is Michael Jackson's best song?
I mean, Thriller's just hard to not say is his best. That shit is just fucking crazy. It's a crazy bopper. Listen. I'm with Nick. If someone had a gun to my face, I'm probably saying Thriller is the best album of all time too. And Thriller is, I just fucking love that song. Beat It is, Billie Jean is up there, all on the same album.
Beat It is, to me, Beat It's got such a, like, that riff is so catchy. And I can think of it in so many different ways. And Thriller's great, but Thriller to me is like very Halloween. It's now become this staple of a certain time of year. And it's really cool to hear it. And the dance is awesome. And it's all this shit. But it really has just become a holiday thing now. And Beat It is always cool to hear. Like if you're watching Back to the Future 2 and you're like, oh man, it's the Cafe 80s where it's always morning in America, even in the afternoon. Like you're cool to hear the song. It comes on and it's got that like, it's got more energy. It, you know, the music video isn't, it's not an R&B song either. And the music video is not this big production. It's just a very like hard hitting. It's the one Michael Jackson song that's actually kind of hard hitting. Everything else is good. Well, there's a lot of good music, but it's a lot softer. I like Michael Jackson's One Time where he's kind of like, oh shit, this guy could fight. Other than that, he can't do shit.
I like, what is it?
Smooth Criminal goes kind of hard.
Smooth Criminal's good.
Okay, yes, that one's right after it.
Smooth Criminal's good.
And Billie Jean does too. Like I like all this. Dirty Diana.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yep.
I don't know. I like. Besides Thriller, I think Off the Wall is another good one.
Yeah, great, dude. Yep.
Don't stop till you get enough. I always think Chris Tucker.
That's one of my favorites. I like that one.
Yep, great album. Off the Wall was right before he went fucking nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We weren't born, so we don't know.
He was still black. He was still black.
He was still black. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is on that. Rock With You is on that album.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good
song.
one. That's a good one.
What do you
Mhm.
think
That
the
dude-
Michael
that's
Jackson
crazy.
movie is going to do? I think that's going to be the one that tops the, because you know how like Bohemian Rhapsody was I think it's like $975 million, some kind of crazy amount like that. I do think the Michael Jackson biopic, if it doesn't look hokey and shitty and they get the music and they do it the same way, I think the movie's going to make a shitload of money. People are going to like line. I mean, those albums sold hundreds of millions of copies. Like he's the king of that shit. So, and Elvis was a hit movie too. So, fuck, man.
My only thing is in the total amount of biopics, those are the top of the ones. There are a lot of them that didn't do well. You know, James Brown's didn't do well.
Yep.
I think.
But wasn't that one a
Bob
long
Marley-
time ago?
Yeah, that was like 2017 or something. Yeah, so that is a while ago. But
Because they all seem
Bob
to hit
Marley's
big
was
these
last
days.
year.
Oh, did
What was
that
that?
do anything?
I think
No.
I think it made its budget back. I don't think it made very much money either, because the reviews were that it was pretty good. It was very middle reviews. I didn't see any more hoopla about it after it came out. So, and then Amy Winehouse is coming out this summer too, and it's not exactly getting a lot of buzz. So I think you're right that
We should play
well.
the WCBS drinking game to Amy Winehouse's movie out of respect.
Sure. What do we do?
Oh my
Like we
god.
drink every time she
Just
says a
drink the
line,
whole fucking movie.
and then we'll watch Glitter afterwards, and then we'll finalize it with Terminator: Dark Fate.
Oh my god.
Turkey time.
Yeah, that is Geely, buddy, not Glitter.
Oh, darn.
One's directed by the guy that made Beverly Hills Cop, and I've seen that one scene.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. That still makes me laugh.
Anything else you guys want to say about music? I mean, we're getting a lot of Blondie conversation. I like Call
I like
Me.
Blondie.
That's why I put it on. Yeah, I do too.
Blondie's
Debbie Harry.
awesome.
Oh. Their music's good too.
I would go with best Blondie song. Dreaming's good. Atomic's great for
That's a good one too.
the fucking music in it. Plus, I mean, there's not a whole lot to it, but you know, Debbie Harry's fucking voice is just captivating.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That was in DJ Hero. Still,
Atomic, it's on Vice City too.
I know a lot of people like to look back on those music games and think, oh, they were crap. Why didn't people just learn instruments? But the one thing I'd say is like the game library, like the music they put in these games, starting with the Tony Hawk games and then into the Rock Band stuff, I learned a lot about music because I learned stuff that I would never hear elsewhere. Like I didn't know what Psycho Killer was by the Talking Heads. Now I listen to that song all the time. Like, I like that song.
And
It's
it
great.
got people to learn instruments, because I think it was multiple like guitar manufacturers were like, yeah, we love Guitar Hero, because so many people wanted to buy guitars. A lot of them didn't stick with it, but a lot of people bought fucking guitars.
I didn't stick with it, but I bought a guitar. I had a black one.
Same here. Same here. I have one as well.
I got a bass now. It's called Bass Freely. I've never really played it.
Nice.
Wait, no, I take that back. I played it once. I said to myself, or I said, if I can learn how to play the Psycho Killer bass line, then I'm going to call it a day. And then I actually learned how to play it in a day, and I never played it again. So I need to get back. It's just dun, 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 you know, dun, dun, dun. It's easy as shit. I'm like, wow, okay. I set my bar too low. So.
I can't not think about South Park and hearing bass guitar talk.
Oh yeah.
According to them, Dion should have a bass guitar somewhere in his house.
That's right. That's right. Don't let me play it though. I can't. I don't know how to play it, but I'm scared to know what'll happen if I go.
That is
dude,
if folks, if on the South Park thing, if you've never seen the one where they create a Christian rock band, you are missing out on one of the best episodes.
Yes,
of
that's
South
a good
Park.
one.
Where
One
he
of their
goes,
best.
"Okay, go home and get
One
the
of
bass guitar out of your garage." Toga's like, "We don't have a bass guitar." And then a few minutes later, he walks. He goes, "I can't believe it. We found this bass guitar in the basement." And he's like, "Play a funk. He play a really great bass riff." And Toga's like, "I don't know how to play the bass guitar." And then he just starts going. He's like, "I don't know how this happened."
and he goes, "You do shit."
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Also, like they're talking about in the chat, the GTA soundtracks, man.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude.
Yeah,
Dude.
somebody said something about Flock of Seagulls. I'm like, yeah, I remember that being on the. I remember that being in the commercial a lot.
Yeah. that's
What
not a bad
commercial
movie.
do you recall seeing more? Do you remember the GTA 3 one with the opera lady, the Vice City one, or Welcome to the Jungle for San Andreas? Because I saw the fuckload of all those. Like out of all those,
I would say Vice City and San Andreas are almost tied.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna if I got a gun to my head, I think I'm gonna go Welcome to the Jungle, San Andreas. If I gotta choose one.
That's the one I heard the most too, for sure.
Yeah. I can remember that now. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Welcome to the Jungle a lot.
Peanut Gallery, you have good taste in music. Thumbs up to you. Dion, remember when we went and saw Hall & Oates and they kind of sucked?
Yeah, they hate each other.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, I had a great time, but we were driving back from Detroit all disappointed. Freaking, but Tears for Fears were fucking awesome. But Hall & Oates,
that's really unfortunate that Hall & Oates is bad. That's really bad.
There was
better.
An interview that I don't know if it was Hall or Oates, the one with the black curly hair. He gave an interview not too long ago about the Hall & Oates breakup and how they hate each other now. And he looked like Mark Marrow had mainlined meth for about a week straight. He was just so fucking haggard looking, which I get. The dude's like 65 years old. But, yeah, he looked rough as shit. I thought it was Mark Marrow when I saw this still on the news. I'm like, what? Man, Mark Marrow looks fucking terrible. No, it's about Hall & Oates.
Do you?
They were both wearing leather jackets and shit, and they were looking old because they were clearly coloring their hair, so you can tell that they were in their 60s, but they've got very little gray hair. It was funny, man. It was funny, and John Oates is wearing a black leather jacket and shit. The dad rock vibe, dude. Dad rock is the best way to explain it.
Dude, we had such a fun time though. We got to do another concert. Aerosmith's coming to town. I'm thinking about getting tickets because it's their final tour, and I like all their big hits. Aerosmith is pretty awesome to me. So
yeah, we gotta find one. My boss just went to Sly and the Family Stone. I gotta ask him how it was.
How many of them are still alive?
Yeah, dude, Sly is still alive, which is crazy. But he's like, what's his name from the Rolling Stones? He's done so much coke, his body just probably doesn't know that it's dead yet.
But hey, look, Keith Richards has figured out immortality, folks. All those vampire fiction novels that you've read about the sexiness to live forever, the joke's on you. If you do live forever, you look like Keith Richards. So do you want to look like that, or do you want to just die a normal corpse? So it's up to you, but he chose that. Look at it.
Damn, that's true.
Sly's 81 years old.
Whew.
Oh my god.
Damn. And considering there's something like 20-something members listed here under their page, I would say that half of them are probably dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it was, they were notorious for getting... not all of them lived. That.
They weren't staying alive?
No,
they're trying to. They're still trying to.
None of us are Bee Gees fans, so we don't have to talk about the Bee Gees at all.
But they did write tunes that everybody liked.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin didn't though, and that's why we all like them.
Oh my god!
Yeah, De La Soul's legit. I like them.
I love De La Soul.
Tribe Called Quest. I know their music, but I don't know. Like, I couldn't sit and start singing you lyrics. I'm just like, okay, cool, put it on. I don't really have a strong aversion to a lot of stuff. I don't really want to hear country music every time I have to eat a steak. Like, I want to eat dinners. Time, but I don't want to go to my local steak joint and have to hear country music. It's like, I get it, but other people, put on like the Foo Fighters or something generic as shit. I don't care, but just let me not listen to Toby Keith as I'm trying to eat at the Texas Roadhouse or Logan's or Longhorn.
That.
Can we just get like
for my horses?
Honky tonk, but donka donk.
Oh god.
They did a really good job of killing a genre.
Yeah. The worst country song ever was that Nelly and Tim McGraw crossover.
Oh my god, dude. When rap crossed over with country, I was like, it's over. Fuck it. I'm done.
That was probably
I'm sorry.
That was when people kind of realized that Nelly was, Nelly was Mr. Corporate America, man. He pitbulled before Pitbull did it, so
I actually understood that.
You got it. You got it.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, man. Because I was on Sweat and Suit at Tim McGraw one.
Jeez.
And I think about it over and over again.
Speaking of old music, my mom, my aunt, and my uncles actually went to a concert in Knoxville. It was Earth, Wind, and Fire and Lionel Richie.
Nice.
Dude.
Hey, Nick.
Were they dancing on the ceiling?
When you call that old music, what do you call Nelly and Tim McGraw?
That's true as well. I'm sorry.
Not as old music.
21 years old, bro.
Don't tell me that shit. I'm sorry. Don't tell me that
All
shit.
in your head. No, it's not. It's called time, bitch. Anyway, Nelly was okay. I liked all of his songs, but number one was the only one I'll still listen to. I'm like, cool, that song comes on.
Number one spot. Oh, no, number one.
No, just number one.
Number one. Okay.
Number one spot's ludicrous.
That's true. Sorry.
Yeah, I grew up in a country town too, so country was I already hated it, hearing it all the time. But there, it has a soft place in my heart because of that. Because of that. I watched the CMAs or some shit.
The country version of Gin and Juice is probably better than the original version of Gin and Juice.
Whoa!
You gotta get out.
You got to hear it. It's because it's not by like any mainstream people. It's just like some dudes fucking playing country music, but it's Gin and Juice. It's actually super
I know
fun.
it. I know what it is. Are they the same people that do Thunderstruck?
They might be.
Yeah, it's like a bluegrass rendition.
Yeah, it's super fucking catchy, and I would rather listen to that than the original version. I'm like, okay, this is entertaining. I like this.
So I would pick the original, but I know the version you're talking about. I thought it was funny when I heard it a couple of years ago. I used to watch it on YouTube.
Just hearing some guy twangily say "you motherfuckers" bounce to that is just will get me every time.
There's a little hip hop collective group, and they did a version of Gin and Juice, and it's supposed to be like more like jazzy hip hop, and it's really good too. And it's like, damn, like it takes all the gangster out of it. It's like, ooh, okay, like if you're sitting at home drunk as fuck, it bops.
You guys remember Bubba Sparks? I do. It's
my god.
Yep.
Up in here. My local radio station would cross that over with Get Your Freak On. It was the weirdest blend ever.
Shit,
Bubba Sparks and Paul Wall.
Oh my god. Every white dude in my high school dressed that way immediately once they saw
them dudes. Yep. They love them dudes, man. And listen, I love me some Paul Wall and Bubba Sparks, man. I like Bubba Sparks. That dude had like a year, and he was white hot. He was over as hell, man. That dude had like a year and a half.
Yeah, he was never a favorite of mine. I was like, oh great, that song's on. Click. We'll go from Kiss to Q102 to the Wiz 100.9. There we go.
Dion, do you remember a band called Nappy Roots?
Yes,
I remember Nappy Roots.
I listen to Nappy Roots every once in a while. What's the song that Nappy Roots does?
No.
Nappy Roots, man. They were like the annoying, like intellectual rap, but they had like one or two songs where you'd be like, okay, I was gonna tell you shut the fuck up, but that's a good song.
All right, I feel like they were really good at like doing the country rap thing. Like they put it together really well.
They did well because they were all from like Tennessee or some shit. So
yeah,
they were like that actually good crossover stuff that sadly didn't get too popular. Nappy Roots was good, man. And then too, like, hey, and if we didn't have Nappy Roots, that was one reason why Southern rap took off. Like, Outkast gets a lot of credit, rightfully so. But like groups like Nappy Roots, man.
Dude, Outkast was fucking weird when they came out though. That first song they had, what is it? Me and You, Your Mama and Your Cousin 2 song, like not UFOs, but something else. That was such a weird song. It didn't have like a rhythm to it. It was just like this weird like bass line. They were fucking.
Yeah, it's my least favorite Outkast song. But Miss Jackson came out and they were fucking.
That's the one I don't like at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Miss Jackson. The one I remember hearing.
I love that song.
The first song I remember hearing from theirs and seeing the video for was B.O.B.
That's the
Oh
one.
yeah,
I
I'm a big fan of Bombs Over Baghdad.
I'm sure you are.
Not so much the song, but the concept.
Right.
Yeah, because that one, that one. Once that one dropped, it was like, oh shit, okay, it's happening.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Well, yeah, I
pretty
remember
hot.
too, they got a lot of push fame wise too, because when they won, it was either a BET award or when they won the early Nick, you'll remember the fucking Source
You got
Awards.
shot that year.
Oh
at the
my
BET
god, the
Awards.
Source Awards.
And they won, and that was right when the East West thing was starting to kind of be lame, and they won like album of the year or something, and they said, yo, everybody's talking about this East West thing, but the South's got something to say too, and that pissed so many big names off. But that was hip hop. They pissed them off. They got talking, and then they eventually dropped Miss Jackson and Bombs Over Baghdad. And then they got that weird motherfucker Wentworth who was like dancing in all the videos. And they were super popular.
the guy who was like their fucking driver or like their servant or something for the longest time. It was weird. It was strange, but no, you're right. He was in all the shit, all the shit. Yeah, dude, and they started remaking like old 70s stuff. Like I Like the Way You Move was a very like 70s inspired song that they did as well. But no,
a lot of people were doing that in the early 2000s. Fucking Murphy Lee, Nelly's homeboy, he had his album. He had like 3 or 4 songs on that album that were samples from 70 songs, man. Like that was like a real early 2000s thing to do.
Yeah, it was. But also, like you guys talking about Gin and Juice. I remember Richard Cheese doing the lounge version of that shit.
Dude, I forgot about that shit.
He was in his song was in your favorite director's movie in Dawn of the Dead.
Yep. There was hope. There was hope. Like there was a minute where everyone's like, man, is that the Zack Snyder guy? He might be pretty good at making movies. And then we got honey dicked. We just got honey dicked by that little weird jerk off.
Yep. And then and it's funny because the way that Dawn of the Dead happens is basically the way that his other like Netflix zombie movie went on as well, because it was the same like beats he hit too. It was fucking weird. So strange.
Yep. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Nirvana?
Listen, Nirvana's got some killer tracks, man. I love Nirvana.
My honest opinion,
sure,
they're good, but they're overrated as fuck because Kurt Cobain played the shotgun. No, serious. As somebody that lived through the shit in real time, Nirvana was a band that existed. They were there. They had some hits. Teen Spirit hit, and the grunge scene had arrived. But then Kurt Cobain dies, and people put them up on this pedestal of like, oh, they're the greatest grunge band of all time. They're one of the best rock bands of all time. It's like, I mean, they gave us the Foo Fighters earlier than we probably would have gotten them.
They're awesome.
And the Foo Fighters, I would say, is better than Nirvana.
Agreed.
But, I'm saying this also as somebody that owns all the Nirvana albums and will listen to Nirvana, but at the same time, I'll be like, yeah, they're not as great as everyone makes them out to be. There's a lot of post-death Kurt Cobain revisionism.
Happens.
I'm not a fan of like the cult of Kurt Cobain. That's just not.
No.
I like Come As You Are. I think that's their song. That's like the only song of theirs I'll still listen to. And I hate In Utero. Anything off that album, I'm just like, no, thank you. I don't need to hear Heart-Shaped Box or.
All Apologies is good.
I don't need to hear it ever again. I've heard it. Those are the ones I heard too much. Like,
that's fair.
Here's the thing about Nirvana. Like, I remember when Nevermind came out, I was a little kid. My cousins were into it. I remember the trajectory, and then, he died and they went away. But then when Nirvana kind of came out, when it came back again, when everything got cool years later, everybody like jumped to the second album because they assumed that like everyone that was like a noob or whatever only listened to technically I guess this was the second or third one. But they're always trying to go, oh, and Utero is actually the better one. And I was like, these songs just suck. Stop trying to play me Heart-Shaped Box. It's not a fucking song I ever want to hear again.
Their live album from the Muddy Banks of the Wishka is pretty good. It's one of the better live albums you could listen to.
I do like their Unplugged. That was a
Their
Good album.
unplugged is also
Oh my
really
god,
good.
they're fucking unplugged. MTV
Everybody
unplugged. I
had a
remember that
copy
shit.
of that shit on tape.
I remember
Yep.
fucking MTV Unplugged, man. Oh my god.
MTV had their VHS game down back in the day. I remember picking up
Mhm.
those Beavis and Butthead tapes. I was like, all right,
God,
MTV,
yeah.
I'll buy your shows.
Paramount Plus has expanded Beavis and Butthead collection stuff on their thing. So if you go on Paramount Plus and you look up Beavis and Butthead, they got a lot of the older episodes, not just the Mike Judge collection shit and the new ones.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, so they're bringing back the ones that he doesn't want out anymore?
There's a good chunk of them because I was looking at it the other day because I was just bored out of my mind perusing for shit to do, and Beavis and Butthead is in my watch list, and I was clicked on it because it's like said something like 12 seasons. I'm like, how the fuck is there 12 seasons of this shit? And yeah, and it was like 1993, like the blood drive one. I'm like, holy fuck, I probably have not watched this episode since 1993 when they had it on once and then it got pulled.
Dude, I hope they have Way Down Mexico Way. That is my favorite.
Way Down
Beavis-
Mexico Way is a great one. Actually, I can pull it up right now if you want to talk about something else, and I'll tell you what they have on there.
Dion, do you know the premise of that episode?
No.
So they go to Mexico and they become drug mules and they
Yep.
swallow condoms full of pills, but they forget to tie off the condoms. So
Mhm.
they just like wander around the desert, fucked up. It's hilarious. It's like the dumbest one because I mean, come on, how are you so stupid you can't even be a drug mule?
Beaver and Butthole. What do you expect? Let's see.
Buff coat and beaver?
Yeah.
Bob?
Oh my
So
Dude,
let's
I
see.
love
These-
the old politicians. I'd be like, you shouldn't watch Beavis and Butthead. My mom watched it. With
Oh
me when she
my
goes,
God,
"This
I
is
remember that
great."
shit,
She
dude.
was
Oh
like,
my
you can watch
God.
Beavis and Butthead. I was allowed to as a kid.
Is this the one with the old Beavis and Buttheads? Yeah.
I got
So
them.
they've got the Give Blood, Beware of the Butt, At the Sideshow, which only lasted maybe 2 times on TV. The one where they get sick. The No Laughing one. That's always a great one.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Let's see. They have to do the assignment and write something in a haiku. Bedpans and Broomsticks, where they go to the fucking old folks' home. The yogurt episode, which only got played once or twice before it got fucking shelved. The tornado episode, that was always a good one. Then there's the ones that didn't. Oh, okay. Car Wash, that one got pulled out of circulation. It's back. The one where they kidnapped Stuart. Let's see. They have Citizen Bedhead Part 2, but not Part 1. Their politically correct episode, which was way ahead of its time. The one where they reenact shit they see on the crime show and they break into the ATM. There's all sorts of great ones. Yeah, you need
I
to
love it.
check it out. There's the cow tipping episode.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead's great. I fucking love that show. It's still funny. You know, you'd think you're laughing at the stupidity of the stuff, which you are laughing at too, but there's a lot of like really smart humor. It's just Mike Judge has really smart humor underneath the
Mike Judge is the fucking man.
Yes, he's the
fucking
best.
This shit's 30-something years old, and I can fucking remember watching it as a 10 or 11-year-old.
I remember going to my aunt's house when Beavis and Butthead would come on at night. They're like, all right, we'll let you stay up and watch it, but you got to go to bed after Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, all right. And they'd let me watch it, and I would go to bed happy, like, yeah, Beavis and Butthead.
I do not see Way Down Mexico Way.
One
Yeah.
day we'll get it, Kendo.
Let me see if it's on the Mike Judge collection. I don't think it is.
No, it is not. I have the Mike Judge collection on DVD.
The question is whether or not it's the edited ones, because the season 9 is the Mike Judge collection 101, and it's got the home improvement one on there where they're fucking huffing the paint thinner.
No,
The one
So
where
our
they
friend-
wash the dog by putting the dog in the dryer.
Oh my God.
our friend Dead Rat Edit says, y'all ever watch King of the Hill? Bro,
Are you
I-
kidding?
Are
I
you
have
new to
seen-
this channel?
I have seen every episode of King of the Hill almost 10 times, and I get to pull this card. This is my favorite thing about living in California. One of the people I befriended worked on King of the Hill, and so she would come to like hang out if we had parties and stuff. She was great. And for my birthday a couple of years ago, before I left California, she brought me King of the Hill Bobby Hill glasses that they gave to the production crew. So I have in my collection. They're only made for people that worked on King of the Hill, but she gave them to me. I fucking love King of the Hill, dude.
I
That is
love-
my favorite cartoon.
I love how Jeff has left California, but yet he still name drops like he lives there. Thanks,
Yeah.
No.
Kind of
What,
big time.
what name did I say? What name did I say?
I'm
Oh,
just
her
giving,
name
you
is
shit, man.
every
I'm just
episode
giving
of the
you
show,
shit.
Nick.
I'm just giving you shit, man.
Her name is in every episode of the show, but I didn't name drop.
Oh,
You
okay.
gotta watch. You gotta
Or was it
watch.
Pamela Adlon.
If it was her, I would have just said I'm friends with the voice of Bobby Hill. I'm listening.
See, now he's big timing us again.
I know.
I wasn't
know.
friends
All the
with the
fucking
voice
time.
of Bobby Hill, sadly.
Fucking big time Jeff over here.
No,
I
I'm
used
not.
to live in California.
I
I used to live in California. I know the people from King of the Hill. I've caused
Yes,
the
I hung out
earthquake.
with Hank Hill himself. There you go. Johnny Hardwick was my neighbor.
Next
Fucking
thing,
Toby
next
Hudson
thing
and I
he'll
played
tell us
golf.
is that he had coffee with RDJ.
Yeah.
No,
We were just hanging out, having coffee.
Jeremy
and
Renner was cool.
RDJ sat down, and it was a good time. Don't mean to name drop it there, but I got part of his phone number.
I was never that guy. I didn't care about that shit. I was just like, hey, man, Wiz Khalifa was here and he looks retarded in person. Like, that's what I would say to you guys. Hey, look, it's Amber Rose. Okay, cool. And then
Oh
you
my
you
God.
turn around and you
Oh
buy
my
your
God.
overpriced groceries and you leave. Dude, anyway. So King of the Hill will do a commentary for it when it comes back out. They do the revised version. I will review it personally because
I mean, to get ready for it, we could always sit back and do season retrospectives. I'm willing to watch them all again.
yeah, like season 4 is where the show really picks up, but I think season 6 is the best season. So we'll talk about that later. God damn, there isn't a bad episode of King of the Hill. Mrs. Wakefield is the worst episode, but it's still not a bad episode. It's just the one I don't want to watch because it's so awkward. It's so awkward. It's like, why does this old lady want to die in the house? And why does everybody think Hank's the bad guy for not wanting a person to die in his home? Like, that was the only logical step where I was like, this is too stupid for Peggy and Bobby to be involved with. Like, Dale, I get it. Dale's stupid. But everyone else should have just been like, yeah, you're right, Hank. She shouldn't die here. And then we just move on. And it frustrated me. Yes, Shrubbles 08, the Japanese episodes where they go and meet Junichiro. Yeah. That's a great episode. Well, 2 episodes. He's going to spit in the Emperor's face. He's a dojo. I loved Cotton Hill. He was cool. He was a great character.
Definitely one of the best characters.
Now, guys, we have checked. I have your emails, the ones that you sent to info@worldclassbullshitters.com. Let's refresh that. We're going to check in with you guys in just a moment, but some super chats to read for everyone that has waited. We thank you very much. And here we are. We are ready to read them. So, Xavier to God says, Jeff, DBZ Kai was made to be more accurate to the manga. That's why there's no filler and dubbed better because the original dub changed a lot of dialogue. Yes, I had tried to get into Kai years ago, and then it wasn't that I disliked it. I just got distracted. So when I turned it on again this time, I was like, I'm just going to sit through it all because, I have Crunchyroll, but I really want to watch Dragon Ball Z with the American music. But Kai is the only way you can watch it with the full screen until you get to the second season. Then it's in that stupid widescreen shit. So it was multiple reasons why I was watching it that way. But I liked it a lot. I don't miss the filler. I don't need to watch the episodes where Gohan hangs out with a dinosaur or Goku drives a car. It's what it is. But I enjoyed it outside of the music. It had some of the worst music I've ever heard in a cartoon. So every time the intro would end or start, I'd be like, nope. And when it would go, next Dragon Ball Z Kai, I'd be like, nope, no more music for me. Troubles 08, thank you very much for your very generous super chat. According to Peter Caddick Adams, author of Sand and Steel, claimed that close to 10,000 men died from the rehearsals for D-Day, so the Allies expected 20,000 men to die on D-Day. There you go.
I cannot think that means literally 10,000 guys got killed preparing for D-Day because I feel like I still would have read it. Maybe it was in like their war games practices, 10,000 guys got killed doing that, and so that's why they expected it. But nothing I've ever read. I'll look up this book, but I feel like that's got to be a misrepresentation.
You have to remember that amount of a loss would have been huge. Yeah, it'd be huge. Even in the 40s, people were, invested in the war. That would have been, because my school did a pretty decent job with World War II shit. Like that would have been taught in school. Like, hey, there was a 10,000 men were lost in the training for this operation. Like people will be like, "Yo, what the fuck is you guys lost 10,000 people practicing?"
Yeah, like I said, I gotta look this up because I've never heard that in all the shit that I've ever read or watched about World War II, which is a lot of stuff. Like I said, I know of that one practice mission where they were doing it real world and they accidentally killed like 900 something dudes, but it had to have been like war games or something like that. Where because in Band of Brothers they had that scene where they eventually decide to replace Sobel, where they're doing war games and stuff like that. And he leads them down the fucking path to the other team that would have killed technically all of them. So it's got to be something like that. It's got to be the rehearsal is in war games type shit, not actual like live fire or accidentally, killing 10,000 people practicing for D-Day because they didn't even lose that many in D-Day.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, projected number. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you're the history guy, Kendo. Tim Riggs, thank you very much. Tim says, not enough whiskey in the entire state of Indiana, Kentucky, or Tennessee. Just saying. Just bring it, man. Dion can definitely attest to the fact that there's not enough. Dion, you're a whiskey man. You're a classy general, or a gentleman. Classy general.
I feel that
General Dion.
I've accepted that. I used to be a big tequila guy. I still love tequila, but yeah, I've accepted that. I've slowly become a whiskey.
Yeah, dude, El Toro with the little hat that you would buy that shitty $10 tequila. Oh my god, that burned.
There's a whole movement now of like not like additive free tequila. Like that's the big thing now. Is additive free.
What's the
homemade
additive?
In Mexico fucking tequila?
Yeah.
What's the additive?
The shit, so you don't get all the shit in it. You know,
because
Mexico
it's mainly like celebrity tequila will have a bunch of additives that make it taste like vanilla-y or sugary or whatever bullshit.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Is the Rock's tequila bad?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I've seen like several tequila guys test all the celebrity stuff, and they're just like, "This is shit." I'm like,
"Well,
good to know."
Casamigos is pretty good. That's the one that was that George Clooney's or whatever.
George Clooney, yeah, George Clooney,
George Clooney, and Cindy Crawford's husband.
Yeah, I think Brad Pitt owns it too.
Well, I mean, you can't really. I don't think you really fuck up vodka that much.
Just say, man.
Right, it's hard to fuck up vodka.
It's like a really good vodka, though. Like, it's noticeably different. Crystal Skull, cool. Aurora Uplinks, thank you for being a member for 8 months, as well as everything else. I think in Star Wars, whenever a world is near a black hole, Abeloth influences it to create female dark side cults, which would explain the Acolyte female cult.
Can we just get sucked into a black hole? Star Wars creativity is in a black hole.
That's
what I was thinking.
So they create the female cults to, like, I guess, kill the society or something.
I can see that being a thing that they go for.
That'd be so weird. So weird.
Tim Riggs, boys, I'm bringing multiple bottles of booze to Horror Hound just because I want to hear 90s music reviews from y'all.
Oh my god!
Should we turn them into shorts?
Absolutely. That's great for sure.
I'll have the speaker, or me and Dino have our speakers there, so we'll just play a bunch of like fucking 90s music.
Hell yeah!
I'm not
reviewing. We'll play some 90s shit. It'll be great.
All right, let's do it. Let's go back in time, but not the Huey Lewis. Xavier to God, Fuck, Marry, Kill, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. Also 4K or 8K resolution. Well, I'll answer that second part first. I don't have 8K television. I have a 4K television, so I'm just gonna pick 4K because it's good enough for me.
Well, and also as far as I've heard, I think the human eye can only, like, that's as far as we can perceive as 4K. 8K is fucking useless. Like when they go past that and they're making like the 10K or 12K discs and TVs, it's gonna be entirely fucking useless for you to watch and see. Yes, you will not. Yeah, there won't be, like, we cannot absorb that much color information into our eyes. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of those high definition sunglasses they were selling like 20 years ago. It's you already see in high definition.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Remember those gaming glasses they would sell you? They were just yellow.
Yeah.
They're like, Call of Duty. Like, you'll get a better gameplay experience. It's like, what the fuck?
But I mean, like, well, I mean, the newer ones they sell are actually tinted properly. Those ones back in the day were just fucking yellow lenses. That's all. They was just solid yellow. It was terrible.
That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, to answer Xavier Gott's question, so I like 4K a lot, but I think I would only fuck 4K and marry Blu-ray and kill DVD. I like the picture quality on 4K. That's all I'm going to buy. But Blu-ray, man, you get such a good value now for Blu-ray. You can get an entire series of shows for like $20.
Yep. I mean, I think for me, since I don't have a 4K TV, I'm gonna go. I'm marrying Blu-ray, fucking DVD, because that window of early DVDs, 5.1 Dolby and shit, that was a big deal back in the day. Then because there are really a lot of titles that you still can only get on DVD, so I'll fuck DVD and just I'm eventually gonna upgrade, but I don't have a 4K yet. I'm killing 4K.
I'm killing 4K because between Blu-ray and 4K, I don't really notice a big difference.
Oh, I do, and it hurts that you don't.
I'm fucking Blu-rays because those are great, but I'm marrying DVDs because the DVDs always had so much awesome, cool shit added onto the discs that do not exist in the Blu-ray realm.
You're correct.
I don't watch the movie to get blown away by the visual color spectrum. I watch it to be entertained, and a lot of that entertainment value also comes from all the extra shit that's on the DVDs that they just don't put on Blu-rays.
Yeah, they should bring all that shit back.
I'm 100% with you, Kendo. I'm that way too. I do a 4K TV. I do own a handful of 4Ks, but like you said, when DVDs came out, after a couple of years of them being out, and the price was nice and even, just like the plethora of shit they would put on there was wonderful. For instance,
the extra shit was almost more than the movie. It's like the value of the movie, but you get all this extra stuff, all the commentary tracks, all these other bonus things, and they just don't have that with the Blu-ray. It's all stripped down.
Yeah, for case in point, one of our favorite movies, Eurotrip, that DVD is chock full of random shit in that fucking menu. It is awesome. There was even a site dedicated to like hidden shit in DVD menus that you could look up and be like, all right, I gotta press up, press down, and then put in this fucking number thing, and like a whole thing pops up. Like, it was crazy.
I remember those a lot. Those were a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like all of that, DVD definitely took advantage of the format the most. I mean, I still think about, like, I know people hate him for He-Man, but Kevin Smith had the best DVD sets, dude. They had every fucking thing ever. It's like you buy the deluxe edition of Jay and Silent Bob, and that's all there is. It's got every commercial, every variation of every commercial. Like Clerks X is a 3 or 4 disc set. It has everything. Yeah, it's great. And then when you get it on Blu-ray or 4K, I don't think it exists on 4K.
I've never upgraded that one. I've got the Clerks X, and that will never be replaced with the Blu-ray
Kendo, I got Clerks on Blu-ray for $2 at a half-price bookstore. So I thought, $2 for Clerks? How the fuck do I not buy it? You know,
see, that's an okay trade.
See, I don't upgrade all of my movies just because. Like the favorite ones, like a Back to the Future or Beverly Hills Cop, those are like day one. Oh man, the disc drop! I can't wait to like eat dinner and watch this movie.
100%.
But I will also bust out the DVDs, like especially if the I guess it's an anamorphic disc. If it's that, then it'll stretch it on the Xbox and the TV upscales. It looks pretty good. I'm not a slave to the picture quality where I won't watch old stuff. I really don't care as much as I make it sound. I just like having my favorite things to look the best. And then if I have the newest setup, why would I buy the lower resolution version? I wait to buy all my 4K discs until they're $10. Like, I'm not spending a lot of money on this shit. I'm just waiting until it gets cheap, and then I'm picking up, 10 movies for $100, and you're just like, well, DVDs were like $14.99 when they were new. So it's like they're $20 actually. And then remember that there was the single and the double disc version, and the double disc was still like $20.
Oh yeah, where it would have A and B, like widescreen, and then like regular screen. I remember that shit. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Full screen.
Spider-Man.
Full screen. Full screen, and widescreen. Yeah, that was the thing, like in the beginning. But yeah, But no, DVD did take the most advantage of the menus and that whole thing of selling the stuff. And even then, even during the PG-13 horror era of like 09 to 2012, there was the unrated disc that would come out that was like $3 more with the slipcover that you wanted to buy because it was unrated. It was like, oh, it has like 37 seconds of footage you didn't see in the movie in theaters, like that.
It was enough. It was enough. I bought Eurotrip on a blind buy because it said it was unrated and Michelle Trachtenberg.
There you go. There you go. Yeah,
like,
American Pie unrated. Same bullshit.
I got
same
good
bullshit.
looking. Yeah.
Yeah. Same bullshit, man. Yeah. The unrated. Yeah.
Okay. No, dude, I miss unrated cuts of movies. They were always fun. Like, you never noticed that they were like. I get it. You could watch the regular edit and you wouldn't notice that much. But if you like really got hooked on the unrated cuts, there are certain jokes that you like go to watch and you're like, oh man, that's not in this cut. Shit. Yeah. I was watching something the other week and I was like, wait, I don't know the theatrical cut of this movie. I only know the unrated cut. And it was really unsettling because it was kind of disappointing. I was like, I thought I knew this movie by heart, man. Oh, it was Eurotrip when we did the fucking commentary. Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait, where's this joke? Oh, wait, it's in the unrated version.
Speaking of the theatrical version, Paramount Plus also has the original version of The Warriors on it.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
I was watching that the other day. Yeah, I was watching that the other day.
Well, even I know I've got the director's cut of Stripe, and it's fucking weird watching it because it adds like at least 20 more minutes to the movie. It's so strange, but it fleshes out a few more jokes here and there, and it's a little bit better as well because it adds more time to it. But the things they show you are just fucking hilarious, man. It's awesome. I love it.
You say Stripes?
Stripes. Yeah, Stripes.
Okay. Yeah, I need to check that. I haven't seen the director's cut. I wouldn't watch it. I love Bill Murray.
Yeah, and that's a good movie. Like the part where, like when him and the girl like get out of that fucking chest at the end of the bed and they're both inside having sex. There's a precursor to that is way funnier than like them just coming out of it is like it happens out of nowhere, but there's a precursor to it that like you understand what happened before that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Context
helps.
Yeah, there's context, a lot more stuff in that than just like hard cuts to the jokes and stuff. So yeah.
Xavier to God, thank you. Dragon Soul is the best theme intro or any DB show. Oh no, that's the one I can't stand. Don't stop, we're in love now. I'm like, what is this? Xavier to God, when Dragon Ball Z first came out, not first came out in America because we have examples of it showing up earlier, but when it hit Toonami in '99 and everybody was watching it, it had this like really hard, heavy metal music, and it cut really fast, and it looked like it was this like insane balls to the wall show. And then you watched it, and the music was so intense, and it was this insane balls to the wall show. But now, when you watch other edits, the music is not intense. It doesn't have the same level of, well, I don't want to say tension because it's derivative. But my point is, it used to be crazy to watch Dragon Ball Z. Now you watch it, you're just like, oh, they're fighting. It's kind of cool. But before you're like, oh my God, this is like you're on the edge of your seat. And when you watch it with that old music, it still has that effect. So I only like that one. But Rock the Dragon was pretty cool. Aurora Uplinks, thank you. Why does Lucasfilm keep making black women unstable or evil characters from the Acolyte to that other show, Kenobi? Feels like the white women saying, look, I don't disagree that you have a problem when you cast these female black lady actors for the roles because you don't make them villains. Like Dion says, they're like these weird gray area characters where you have to be sympathetic towards them. You're like, no, we watched them kill characters and do all this shit. I don't have to be sympathetic because they had past trauma. Look, Darth Vader had past trauma. He watched his mom die. That's real trauma. That, we don't know what these other characters went through. But point is, like, fuck it. We want to watch a character suffer. We want to watch a character die. We want to watch a character,
we want to watch the bad guys lose.
Yeah, and so if you make, these actors bad guys that can't really suffer, then you just make fucking bad guys that can't suffer, and then it's stupid. It's like Rey can't suffer because she's a female lead and we have to set an example. No, you don't. Cut off her hand. Give her a fucking robotic leg. Give her a robotic face. I don't care. But make her suffer.
Give her a personality.
Give her a personality chip. There you go.
Goddamn right.
Oh, God.
Shrubbles always says, I'll take a message, please. Of course. I'll give you a message in just a moment. It will be right about here.
Message! Message! Message!
Regardless, Tim Riggs, thank you. He says, regardless of numbers, props to our mothers, fathers, etc., who not just gave their lives on D-Day, but to all those who made it possible. Oh yeah, Matt.
Indeed.
Respect to everybody. So,
huge part of history.
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically what funded the History Channel for like 10 years.
Yeah, until it became come to my pawn shop and check out how I've fucking fixed this car.
And now it's now it's paranormal TV because it's just like I thought I saw Bigfoot.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget about shit like the random rich people doing insert thing here, Storage Wars. Yeah.
Also the best one, Ancient Aliens. Let's not forget that.
Hey, don't shit too much though, man. Like if you're stuck at home on a Saturday afternoon you got like leftovers from some restaurant and you're just eating leftovers watching Ancient Aliens, you're just like, all right, like I don't think any of this is real, but I'm gonna humor it in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm not shitting on that show. We're just naming stuff.
It's hilarious.
That show is hilarious. I loved when that channel like fucking shit the rails and it just like it went nuts.
Hey, they found out what people tuned in for.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. We know what people tune in for, and we're here to give it to them. Xavier to God, thank you very much. When Sean Schimmel sang Dragon Soul, it sucked. Yeah, don't stop, we're in love now. This is a show about fighting aliens and power levels and screaming Kamehameha, man. Like, I need my shit to sound like the intro that we play on the show. That's what I prefer. But you know what? Different strokes for different folks. Now, I hope they don't do a remake of Different Strokes because it would be stupid. But could they're going. Could you wokeify Different Strokes? Because it
was already kind of.
How could you wokeify it? Like, what would you do? Make them gay?
You would. Well, yeah. Literally, you're not off. And you what else do you add in to Different Strokes that would update it?
So, Conrad,
you put in an interracial couple.
Interracial couple. There you go.
And the girl is a lesbian.
And also do the thing that every popular show is doing now: make the couple divorced, because that seems to be a thing now that they're all doing. It's fucking weird.
Yep.
Yeah, marriage isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's a social construct or
only kind of.
Yeah.
Hey, Kendo.
Yeah.
You ready to find out what your D-Day IQ is?
Yeah, let's do this.
Unwoke Different Strokes. There we go. I like the name of that.
Different wokes for different folks.
Different wokes for different folks. So that makes
different more sense. Wokes to move. Should I turn that into a Wokebusters commercial? Like I have some people Fiverr. The world don't move. All right, Kendo. We're going to disappear off screen for a minute, guys. Let me find which is that way to do it. There we go. Bye-bye, us. All right, Kendo. What is your D-Day IQ? See how much you know about the largest amphibious assault in history, a turning point for the U.S. and Allied forces in World War II. You ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
What was the code name for D-Day?
Operation Overlord.
Operation Overlord. Oh, wait, there we go. Operation Overlord. All right. Check answer. Correct. Next question. Part of the success of D-Day was the massive Allied deception operation. Where did they make Germany think they were going to land instead of Normandy?
I literally talked about this earlier. Pas de Calais.
Part of the success of... All right, never mind. That's the answer. Anyway, when the Allies landed on the beaches of Normandy, what were the code names they used for the 5 beaches?
Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword.
And Sword. There you go. Sword Beach. Who was the commander of the D-Day operation?
Ike.
Right here?
Dwight David Eisenhower.
Oh, I didn't realize that was what the D stood for.
No, it's Ike. Woo!
That was an easy quiz. You got 100%, Kendo. Your streak remains untainted. Unlike Beavis and Butthead's Tainted Meat. It's a great episode.
Yes, that was a good episode.
I don't want to just keep... There we go. All of us. Stop that. Darian217, thank you for your very, very generous super chat. Toonami has changed the lineup to adjust to changing viewership age. They are bringing back the 90s favorites. My favorite, Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. The 5:30 to 6:30 block is Dragon Ball Z Kai. Not sure about the intro. Okay. If they could put Reboot on at 5 o'clock and Dragon Ball Z on at 5:30, I'll be set. I will get cable just for that because I'll skip Reboot. I'll catch the last 5 minutes because I never gave a shit about that show, and I will not miss.
Oh my god, dude!
I
fucking love Reboot. Reboot was crazy. That was such
Bob?
a weird show.
Yeah, Reboot was weird. I never really got into the CGI cartoons like that or Max Steel. I didn't like that art style. I always liked the hand drawn stuff because it had a soul to it. Like the characters could emote. They didn't look like plasticky dolls to me. Like Max Steel looked like a toy. I hated that show. I turned it off. I'm like, Max Steel, no.
I never got into Max Steel, but I did get into Reboot because I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was really funny. The way it was going down and stuff was just really awesome. And then I think season 2 had changed and they all got really more rugged. It was so weird. Out of nowhere, they just changed. But it didn't last very long.
Dude, speaking of shows and stuff, I found out there's a whole Men in Black animated series Burger King toy line, and I'm now on the hunt to get Agents J and K.
Oh my god,
it looked just like the cartoon, dude. That cartoon intro is way better than anything Men in
Black.
Oh
no, it is, dude. It is so fucking good. That intro. Actually, I think it's the same. I want to say the same company who did Extreme Ghostbusters because the intro is drawn the same. Everything's drawn the same. But if you can ever, once again, anybody out there, if you can ever watch Men in Black the cartoon show. It is awesome. I will always yell its praises. It was so good. They even copied they copied Men in Black International, one of the storylines from that to make that movie.
That cartoon is way darker than people would think too. It's kind of scary. Yeah. That's what was awesome about it.
Dude, Agent Alpha who got fired or died and then he keeps coming back and adding more alien parts to him so he can live forever is fucking weird. It is the weirdest thing of the overarching villain of that whole show.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. If I get the chance, if I can find it somewhere, I'm gonna sit down and binge was it 3 seasons of the show?
No, it's 5. It's 5.
Oh shit. I watched
Yeah, but they're all 20 under 20-minute episodes. They're 20, they're 20, 25-minute episodes, but they're really good. They're really the storylines were awesome. I think even Men in Black 3, the time travel one where Kay is fading, that one was a cartoon episode they had done as well that they made into a movie. Obviously, the guy in the moon, the main bad guy is not part of that. That's another part from that they made up. But the time travel element was that.
We're talking about the Men in Black cartoon Veritas. Before that, we were talking about Reboot. Yeah, the Men in Black theme from the cartoon too is awesome.
Oh, dude, it's so good. They'll never bring it out on fucking DVD or Blu-ray ever. It's terrible.
See, now this is what I want them to do. Well, I think it exists on DVD. This is what I want. Well, I want there to be a very easily accessible neural network to upgrade your DVDs. So somebody could just do the AI to upscale the DVDs and go, hey, this is the best resolution you could possibly make out of this. Your show's been remastered, and they're never going to do it anyway. I want that. I want to be able to see, because with animation, I'm going to pull back the one comment I made. I really do care about the clarity of animation because it looks like it's something completely different. You got to remember, too, home media is limited by the technology. And so what we're seeing on this new version is what it's supposed to look like. So you see the paint strokes and the Aladdin and all these cool things that you never noticed before, you're like, oh man, this is way better than watching it on video. The fuzzy feeling people talk about videotapes. No, man, it was cool. I love to watch the commercials. If they would put the commercial lineup the exact way on the 4K disc as they did the VHS, I'd be there. That's what I'm nostalgic for. Those pre-movie title sequences, like Batman with the fucking Warner Brothers ad, or the Dumb and Dumber one, which I know by heart, for Mortal Kombat Summer '95. I'm down about that, or down with that. So, yeah, guys, I think we've had a wonderful show tonight. I think we've had a lot of people watch and hang out with us. Is there anything else you guys would like to say before we put this baby to bed?
Free Yayo.
Wakanda forever.
Sure. All right, Nick doesn't have anything to add. So, folks, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. It was a fun night. We hope you guys enjoyed everything we had. We had a lot of Star Warsy talk. We had a lot of awesome talk. Join us tomorrow. I'll have a new video up. And then Saturday, I should have something. I believe the copyright issue has been resolved with something. So I'm going to fix that and take care of it and re-upload a certain video that I want everyone to check out. So, folks, join us tomorrow and Saturday. And then we'll be back on Tuesday night live for the Acolyte. Ugh. But you can catch me all over the internet. You're going to hear more about Wokebusters from other places. So make sure you guys check that out. Rickshaw, thank you for being a new sub. Glad you enjoyed the show. Join us next week. We'll be doing it again. This is episode 403. Nick, remind me next week to do a bunch of whole 404 error jokes so we can really drive home the nerdiness of the show.
Will do.
Now, hold on 1 second. Clone Geek, thank you. We have emails to read. So first off, from our friend, I don't know what. Oh, it's from Sejorjan. Okay, I read the email. PlayStation 1 is not 20-ish years old. It's the PlayStation 2. That's what makes me feel old. Sejorjan, thank you. Let's see what else we got from our friend. I don't know which screen name this is. I know the name and I don't want to read it. You know who you are. I'm going to read all these. Hello. I feel old when I remember that I started castrating dolphins since the Nixon administration. I feel old when I remember Eternals came out almost 3 years ago. I feel old when I remember the Star Wars before Cervestas crystals invaded it. I feel old when I remember that Kendo wasn't always a cyborg. I feel old when I remember watching Baby of the Bride, made for a TV movie with one of the Golden Girls with my mom. I feel old when I remember the days George Lucas had a mullet. I feel old thinking about Kathleen Kennedy didn't have a face. I feel old thinking about when Ryan Johnson got a toaster stuck in his anus. I feel old when I remember that Peter Parker wasn't always gay. And I feel old when I remember when Will Smith was cool. Yeah, I remember. So does Pepperidge Farm. Thank you. Let's see. We also have another one about the contest. Breadman Productions, do me a favor. Resend that information to this new email address, and we'll take care of you tomorrow. Aurora Uplinks, thank you again for everything. The Blu-rays don't have the bonuses of DVDs. What the fuck? Yeah, they don't upscale the resolution of these old things. And sometimes, I don't know. I know there's licensing agreements and things that expire. It would be a lot nicer to just get James Bond might have kept all of its DVD special features for the Blu-ray. And I think they even upscaled them by recutting all the old film footage with the new high resolution stuff. So I think Bond may have done that, and there's no 4K versions yet. So hopefully they transfer that over. But yeah, it should always be that way. Aurora Uplinks. The guys and I still have all of our old DVDs. We're not going to get rid of them. Sure, Darian 217. You can email us actual 404 error pages if you would like. Remember, folks, the new email is info@worldclassbullshitters.com. We got our big boy pants on now. We're worldclassbullshitters.com. We're no longer mail.com. Sorry, guys. But we'll be still checking the worldclassbs@mail.com, the best mail.com email through the end of July. So, folks, make sure you contact us and have your emails read here on the show. Anything else we want to say before we go? I'm open. All right, guys. Well, that's it. So thank you for watching, folks. We'll be back next time with more. In the meantime, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
.com.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
My name is Jeff.